Hey everyone, welcome to Tradin Faves. I'm a me brawler dressed as Joseph, and today we're gonna talk about. Get that out of here! Get that low, weak, mid-tier crap out of here! I'm back. We're ready on Tradin Faves. Let's do this. Joseph and David, join the podcast. Da 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 da.
If you could have seen the face that I made,
I didn't, because it's on a.
I know
call.
it's a podcast. It's the one moment where I'm like, why is this an audio format?
Because then I would have had to make a me costume or something.
The sheer amount of regret in my face, but also I'm like, this is amazing.
Oh. Alright, so welcome back to Tradin Faves. As promised, we're going to talk about Smash Bros.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it for a while.
Yeah, this is the one that finally, we can just openly say this is going to be a long episode.
Just knowing we're going to try and be quick, but I'm looking at this and going, it's not.
Okay, it's also entirely possible that we may, stop midway and then resume this another time.
We might have to,
because for those who did not join us from the previous podcast, shame on you. It was Metroid Dread, and it was great. But for those that didn't, to explain what we're doing, or to recap what it is we're doing, this is not, a retrospective of all of Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is specifically, we're going to focus on all of the playable fighters in the game. Yes. And that is the only aspect. We may do another one of these sometime where we talk about stages or items or bosses or whatever, but or other stuff in the game. But for now, we're just going to talk exclusively about the fighters because well, it was a timely idea when Sora was released last year.
I also just want to throw out, I'm so sorry, I still have a little bit of a cough. I've been recovering.
I will edit that out, because that's not going to fly. Or maybe I'll edit it in a funnier sounding cough. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That sounds like more work for me. I'll probably just...
Yeah, I'm going to try not to cough, but every time this Joker cracks me up, it sends me into a coughing fit. I'm just like, oh, this is perfect. Mm-hmm. We're professional.
It's the state the world is in. Everyone's sick. Yeah. Everyone is sick. Da, 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 da. I'm so sorry. Okay. To explain a little bit of the format that we're going to do, we're going to cover each character. Do you want to do the rating first or talking about the character first?
We can just say this is the character, here's the rating, and then we'll talk about the character and then we'll see if it changes.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we'll each give our rating on a scale of 1 to 5 about each of the characters. So basically and here's the thing, because I know some people are going to get mad because I have rated some characters as 1 out of 5. And some people will be very salty to hear that I don't like their favorite characters. So here's the thing about these. Even the 1 out of 5 characters, I do not hate. I legitimately like every character that's in Smash Bros, at least on some level.
Yep, same.
It's just because of personal attachment that I like some more than the others, and so that's a thing that we're going to get into. But again, please understand that, I'm not trying to trash anyone's favorite characters. And if you've got a difference of opinion, that's not only welcome, but it's a good thing. Because then you can rip on us in the comments, and you can dislike the video, and we won't see it, because we can't see dislikes anymore. But, we'll get started on this madness.
Yeah, because, there are 82 characters in this game.
Is that counting combined characters?
I mean, yeah,
okay.
There's some combos in here.
Yeah, because I think there's 89 in total, but it's madness.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. Oh yeah, no, I forgot. I didn't number the Echo Fighters.
Oh yeah. Well, I just have them as E 5 or E14 or
yeah. That's why, because I looked at the last number and then I was like, oh wait, there's more than this. So yeah, even more. Why did we want to do this again?
Because it's awesome, and Smash Bros is awesome, and it's got so many awesome characters.
Like Mario.
Hello, Mario.
I was gonna make that joke.
I beat you to it. All right, so we got Mr. Video Game to start us off.
Mr. He's so cool himself.
Chris Pratt, everybody, special guest on the podcast, Chris Pratt. Hello, I'm Chris Pratt. I'm the voice of Super Mario.
Wahoo, let's go.
It's a me, Mario.
It is I, Mario.
All right. Tell me, David, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate Mario?
I gave him a 5.
Nice.
I like Mario. He's retroactively my main in Smash 64.
Oh yeah.
Cause back in the day I was a Link main before I knew that Link sucked in Smash 64. But then like randomly I pulled the game out more recently and I was like, dude, Mario's fun. I want to play more Mario.
That's pretty cool. I respect that.
So Mario's a solid 5. I just like him.
That's really cool. I like him too, but I like him 4 out of 5. So.
Yeah, that's fair. I might have been a little preemptive. There's a lot of 5s in my list because I genuinely like a lot.
And
of these
there are a fair number of 5 out of 5s on my list too. But like really trying to go based on how much attachment I have with them. Like some characters I really really love, and so I wanted to at least put them above. But generally, like the 4 out of 5s are, you know, I'm extremely happy they're in the game. With Mario, he's just one of like the best in video games. Everything he does is good.
Goes into the rating because so here's the thing. Here's the thing for me too that I should also probably explain. When determining my ranking of a character, one of the factors that I take into account is I'm not a super competitive Smash Bros player. I tend to just I rep brands.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Like we don't really get involved in the competitive stuff.
You know, so... and I don't play a lot of online, so I don't encounter your average online degenerate glue-eating NESS who just spams PK fire for the entire match.
Right.
Right. I'm aware of the competitive scene and how certain characters are played because it's optimal, but it is not fun to watch or play against. And none of that is taken into account when I rate these characters. It is just typically when I play them and my knowledge of their franchise. You know, and so just Mario's he's a good boy.
Right. And for me, there's a tiny aspect of how the characters are played and what it's like fighting against them. A tiny bit of my opinion goes into that, but it's more just how I feel about the character in general, and most of all, them being in Smash.
Yeah.
That is kind of mostly what my scores are based on. And Mario's he's freaking great.
He's Mr. Nintendo. He's Mr. Video Game.
It's amazing that his franchise has gone on as long as it has, and it's so inoffensive, and you can just always expect wholesome fun from any Mario game.
Or you're playing Mario Party.
Or you're playing Mario Party, right? Which is
here's the thing. I'm a glutton for RNG fun.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. Mario Party is pure punishment, and it'll make you hate all your friends. But it is the best thing that could end your friendships. That's the thing. Mario is just such a charming character. I don't know. A lot of people say that the Mario characters don't really have personality, and I strongly disagree with that. I think there's a reason why Charles Martinet keeps coming back into the booth to crank out some more wahoos and yippies and
Thank you so much for
like,
playing my game.
Yeah, so long, gay Bowser. Like, everything about, like, Charles Martinet's portrayal of Mario, and even, like, the other people that have played Mario, like Lou Albano and everything, like...
Oh my gosh!
I love
Could you imagine Smash Bros, but we have Lou Albano instead of
I would love that. His final smash, he's like, you go to hell before you die.
Oh, man.
I would love that. And then in general, like, Mario and Smash, he's just fun to play as. Like, his combos are, like, really simple, and you can, like, chain a bunch of up airs and and do some kind of brain dead stuff. But it's just some, like, turn your brain off, have fun.
Yeah.
Also, like, progressively with each Smash Bros. Game, Mario got, like, better and better. Which is, like...
Oh, yeah. Which is funny that I play him in the first one.
I know. Well, I don't know. The first one is just so jank and weird that it's, like, kind of balanced.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of fighters, and they're all kind of floaty and stupid, so...
Yeah. But no, I like it to Mario.
I really like Mario. He's one of my favorites. Even, like, in stuff like Mario Kart or whatever, when everyone's like, why would you play as Mario? He's so, like, middle of the road. I'm like, I like playing as Mario in those.
You're supposed to drive in the middle of the road. If you don't, you go slower.
All right, you and your quips.
Sorry,
but I just mean, like, I don't know. I love Mario as a character, just how he's super jolly. And, like, always making funny, happy Italian man noises.
Yeah. What's funny is that a lot of my love for Mario comes from a lot of the spin-off media, like Mario Kart and Mario Party, Mario Sports Mix. And, like, those are the ones where I tend to just play Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Also, it's funny because they say he's so jolly, but then in Smash Bros, for some reason, he's just angry all the time.
I'm reminded of the Piranha Plant trailer, and just, like, every person's reaction to the beginning of that trailer is, oh man, Mario's pissed.
It's his walking animation, he's so angry.
It's so funny. I don't know why.
Maybe this is something we'll have to talk about later on the podcast, but also Mario Odyssey is, like, one of my favorite-liest video games ever. And
I still haven't played it.
I know. You will. We'll get to that at some point. But, like, with that said, I'm really glad that Smash Bros. Added a ton of Mario Odyssey-related things, like how he's got Cappy in his taunt, and like, the up B does the purple coins, and just a lot of fun stuff there.
It's good stuff.
So that's Mario.
Yep.
He's a good way to start this off. Now we get to number 2. DK Donkey Kong.
Leader of the bunch. So what did you give the Donkey Kong?
I gave him a humble 4 out of 5, just like Mario.
4 out of 5. I gave DK a 5 out of 5.
That is pretty good.
So here's the thing. Donkey Kong, I don't remember how this started, but he became, like, one of my pocket characters that I just... like, here's the thing. I have my mains that I love playing as, and I always play as, but, like, Donkey Kong is the character that I pull out when I want to play well, and also, like, just have a good time.
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of people have a pocket DK.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is just playing as DK is a fun time. Like, yes, you're getting comboed all the time, because for whatever reason, that just happens with him.
The DLC characters up against this antiquated design.
Like, I don't know what it is, playing DK is just fun.
Yeah, it brings a smile to my face. The fact that he's got 4 different moves that Meteor Smash.
Yes!
I love that.
Like, the thing is that he's ridiculously slow, or he's not ridiculously slow, and he still hits like a truck. And I just, like...
Yeah, there's something about DK is just so good, and they keep, like, making him better with each of the games. This is another one like Mario, how they added, like, his dash attack is like the roll. from DKC. I love that.
I don't know which of my friends coined the phrase, but like one of them just started saying the phrase "Donkey Kong have fun," and like whenever he'd play Donkey Kong, and like I started doing that too, and just sure enough, every time I pull out DK, I have a good time. Even if I lose, I have a good time.
It's kind of interesting for me. I have played very little of like the Donkey Kong games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I played a very tiny bit of DK64, a very tiny bit of Tropical Freeze. But like I've never been too invested in the series much, but I just really like this character. And one of the crazy things to me, you would think I was a big DK fan for like the kind of music that I'm into, but like all of the Donkey Kong tracks that are in Smash Bros are all just bops. Like they're all so good.
They're really good.
So that's just a weird thing, is that like the DK series always brings some great music to Smash Bros, so that also adds to why I like him so much. Anything else you got to say about the monkey?
No, just he's a cool dude.
All right. I'm retroactively changing the answer on this next one because I just looked at the rating and was like, "What is up with this?" All right. So who do we have next?
We got the hero of Hyrule, Link. So. This is going to be the first. This could be controversial.
The point of controversy. What did you give Link?
He's a 4. So here's the thing. I missed the Gale Boomerang, and I know that's a controversial point because everyone's like, "Oh, but like he's better," and I'm like, "But the Gale Boomerang was fun."
No, I understand that take. I've even heard that from a few people, like they were missing the Gale Boomerang.
Yeah, but like I love Breath of the Wild, and so like that alone skyrockets him to a 4.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those things that I was like, man, like I miss the Gale Boomerang.
Yeah, I feel the same way about like the hook shot.
Yeah, no, we don't have the hook shot or the claw shot.
He's just got a
anymore.
normal grab because there wasn't one of those in Breath of the Wild, so
yeah,
he just grabs with his hands. I kind of feel sad. That said, I just updated this one. Like I had my notes a 4 out of 5, but I'm like, no, I think Link's a 5 out of 5 for me.
Link's fun, especially if you watch a professional Link that knows what he's doing.
It's like the Z dropping with the bomb.
The bomb combos are so fun to watch.
I think they're fun to watch until you realize that like that is all competitive Links do. Is just the neutral air and the Z dropping the bomb.
Wait, I have a sword?
They're like, yeah, you can use it to land kills after you Z drop bomb combo them for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it is fun to watch.
Yeah. And like Link's got a bunch of fun details, like when his health is at 0 and then he can shoot the little sword beams.
Yeah, with your smash attacks you can shoot the
love that.
That is such a cool detail. It's funny because like I just thought of another complaint, and so I'm trying not to make this seem like my 5 out of 5 that I just gave as a character I complain about. The one funny thing to me about Breath of the Wild Link, for a long time, one of the things I loved most about Link was that he was left-handed. Because I'm also a lefty, and so that was something I really identified with in the character. Breath of the Wild Link is right-handed. And they kept that detail in Smash Bros. He's right-handed in this one. It's like, aww.
Oh man, darn you, Skyward Sword. I actually really like that game, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, that's Skyward Sword is a whole nother can of worms. But like, I don't know. I freaking love Breath of the Wild. Again, like Odyssey, it's one of my favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's
I did play that one.
The fact that we have Link in this, and I like that they have the Tunic of the Wild, because that one, I really enjoy playing as Link in that outfit.
I played through the majority of Breath of the Wild. Like once I got that, it did not come off.
Wait,
unless it had
the champion's tunic or the tunic?
Or yeah,
of the wild?
sorry, yeah, the champion's tunic.
The champion's tunic is the blue one. I'm talking about the tunic of the wild, which is with the green pointy hat.
Yeah, which I'm glad they put it in, because you gotta still have his iconic look.
The fun thing about it's his iconic look, but then he's got like shorts, and he's a bit more woodsy in his attire, and it's fun to me. Plus, unlocking the tunic of the wild in Breath of the Wild was extremely difficult to do, so I'm like, darn it, I worked hard for this thing. Even in Smash Bros, I want to use it. But also the look of the champion's tunic is very cool as well, and it's cool to see that Link has like a much more updated look in Smash Bros. And you can pick up your arrows and then reshoot them.
Yep, you get double arrow, which is cool. There's so many like neat little details in this game, and it's one of the reasons this game is so good.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else?
No, I think that's good. Gosh, we're taking a long time on each character.
That's what I was saying. If we need to just like stop and then record in a new session the rest of them,
we might end up having to do that. We'll see.
And I know you're saying we need to pick up the pace, but this is going to be a hard one.
I know. It's one of those ones that I was like, okay. Oh, but next character is one I'm actually very excited to talk about.
That's what I'm saying. I got a lot to say about this one.
So, yeah, for me, Samus is a solid 5. Same. And it was not that way before.
Yeah.
Because, like, I didn't know or really care that much about... Again, like, if you've listened to all the episodes of this and seen all our Metroid episodes, I didn't know a whole lot of Metroid. Like, Samus, like, before would have sat, like, at a 3. Like, oh, yeah, she's iconic. Like, you know, I'm glad she's here. Man, especially after Dread, like, Samus is a 5.
Yeah.
No question, Samus is a 5. Specifically, I like playing an aggressive Samus, not, like, the run and hide Samus. That's way more fun.
That's like zoning Samus is small brain lame. People are gross, and that's not even like a professional play. Like casual players just are terrible Samuses usually. They sit there and hide behind projectiles, but like man, when you go rush down, when you go hard with Samus, like the game lets you go hard.
Her meteor just is so satisfying.
It's so cool. Samus's aerials are just like some of the best aerials that a character has, in my opinion.
Samus has great aerials.
I didn't even like specifically say, but like 5 out of 5.
Good, for me. Good. But yeah, specifically, you yourself as an individual have bumped Samus up to a 5 for me.
I am so glad I did that because Samus is so great.
Yep.
There's a lot about like you said, just the experience of learning to appreciate the Metroid series more. It is kind of interesting because my start of liking Samus did start with Smash Bros. Like in Brawl. I played a lot of Samus in Brawl, and that was
I remember like that
the starting point of me being like, oh, Metroid seems kind of cool. I want to see why everyone wants Ridley in Smash, like, and not just as a boss. There's that, and just in general, like, I don't know, Samus is like, it's weird. Samus is cool, but like also in a way, like I find her kind of relatable in a lot of ways that's not quite like other Nintendo characters. Maybe it's just like as an introvert, I tend to spend a bit more time isolated and appreciate those moments of isolation. But the Metroid games kind of induce that vibe. And like a lot of the experience, like having PTSD and things, and you know, like the psychological aspects of her character, are also things I find not only relatable but endearing. So that's just I just love Samus.
Yeah, valid, all valid.
And the Metroid music. Oh my goodness.
Yup.
That was the one I did like my ranking of like my top 10 songs for every Smash soundtrack.
Oh, I remember you doing that.
Yeah, and there was always a Metroid one at like at least top 3 every time there was a Metroid song. Oh man. So with that though, we got a little offshoot of Samus.
Yeah.
We got Dark Samus.
Echo.
Our first Echo fighter.
So here's the thing. I gave Dark Samus a 3.
That's fair.
But the reason for it being, we have not yet gone through the Prime game.
Yeah, we haven't gone through the Prime game. So I'm like, the fact that Dark Samus even gets a 3 from you is like, whoa.
Yeah. And the big reason for it is that, like, one, I am now in love with the Metroid franchise, and so more Metroid content in this game makes me so happy. And, like, here's kind of a thing, too. By the time we got to Ultimate and Dark Samus's reveal, I'd kind of already gotten a lot of the characters I wanted. Mm-hmm. And so if I knew somebody who really wanted a character, and they got that character, I was happy vicariously for them. Because I was like, I've already gotten what I want. So, like,
right,
here you go. Like, enjoy. Like, I'm happy that you got something you wanted now. And, like, I had a friend who really wanted Dark Samus. Like, for years was saying, like, no, this needs to be a character, not an assist trophy.
This needs to be in the game.
Let's have more than just 2 Samuses in our roster.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I give Dark Samus a 4 out of 5. So in the same caliber of feelings like I have about Mario and DK. The main reason that Dark Samus does not get a 5 out of 5 for me, despite mostly having the same playstyle as Samus, is just that, like, I really have the attachment to Samus as a character.
That's fair.
Whereas this one is kind of just like the evil version of Samus. But, like, Dark Samus is freaking cool, and for, like, story reasons that I can't spoil for the Metroid Prime games, like, there's a lot that's really cool about Dark Samus as a character. And it was just one of those additions that was, like, it was not really needed. We already have 2 versions of Samus in Smash to begin with. So, like, there wasn't a reason to put Dark Samus in the game, but it's just cool. And I think one of the things that I like the most about it, like, Dark Samus definitely has enough material that they could have made an entire unique moveset for the character. And that certainly would have been better and probably would have made Dark Samus a 5 out of 5 for me. But even though Dark Samus is an Echo fighter, the animations are, like, very different and very cool. The fact that instead of, like, running and stuff, she floats. And, like, she's got these real, like, creepy, twisty limbs and spindly fingers. And, like, it just looks more sinister than regular Samus. Is something that I think is extremely cool.
I think also, because this is our first Echo, we're talking about them. But, like, I actually really like the Echo fighters. Because while normally on the internet, people are like, oh, it's a waste of a slot. I'm like, no, it's a very easy addition. Like, is the way that I look at it.
It's easy development to have more characters in the
roster. and like, it just results in us getting more. You know, and part of the reason we have this behemoth of a roster.
I agree. With this Echo fighter, it gets my approval.
Yep.
All right. Up next, we have the good dinosaur.
The good dinosaur. The Yoshi.
That's what I thought of when I saw the good dinosaur. I'm like, it's just a Yoshi.
It's just a Yoshi.
That's just a Yoshi with teeth.
It's the good dinosaur, but it's the Super Mario Brothers movie. Yoshi.
Trust the fungus.
So here's the thing. I kind of just gave Yoshi a 3.
Same.
He's one of those ones that, like, because part of the thing too is because, like, again, a lot of my attachment to Mario games are the spin-off games, and Yoshi was always the character that everyone fought over, and I would just let everyone fight over Yoshi.
Yeah.
And I would just play, like, Luigi or Mario.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't have as much attachment to Yoshi. That said, I still like Yoshi.
Uh-huh. I definitely think Yoshi's a fun character. I also did the 3 out of 5. My reasoning was that like I really love Yoshi as a character and think he's just one of the best additions to the Mario series, and like whatever way you put him in a game, it's always going to be something fun. The main thing for me why he's not a little bit higher, I used to play Yoshi a ton in the older Smash Bros games. He was like number 2 in my top 5 for like years. But then like as they kept coming out with new characters, I just kept finding more that I was like, oh, I kind of like this one a little bit better than Yoshi. And then number 3, and then number 4, and then he got like bumped off my top 10 because there's too many other characters that I like now.
When you have a roster this big, like characters, we're gonna get to some more farther down, that like they were characters I played a ton, and then just new characters came out and they just kind of got bumped down the list.
And especially like we only started with 12 characters, so
yeah,
and now we're at 80 whatever.
Yeah, dude.
There's a ton. But with that said, like I love Yoshi, especially most fondly because I love Yoshi's story.
Yoshi's story.
That game just warms my heart.
It does.
I have a lot of like childhood memories of like I remember the first time I saw Yoshi. I was at like I had to like stay at a babysitter's house or whatever because like my parents couldn't pick me up, so I was just waiting there for them to pick me up. And like her kids were playing Yoshi's story, and I remember hearing his little like flutter jump and thinking it was the funniest thing in the world because I was like 5. I was like, that's a hilarious sound, and they're like, what's funny about it? It's just the noise he makes.
Yeah,
but like that memory is burned into my head. Like every time I hear Yoshi do the little flutter jump thing, I'm just like, oh. I love
Plus,
him.
One of the best sidekicks in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Oh, absolutely.
If they put that Yoshi, like just that character model in there,
he's one of the best sidekicks in like every game he's in.
Yeah,
like every story game he's in. But yeah, I kind of know what you mean about like Yoshi being like the character that everyone goes for, like when you play the big party games. It's kind of weird how popular he is. But all right,
yeah.
that's everything I got to say about Yoshi.
Yep. Same.
Tell me, what do you have to say about the sole survivor of the Galeem massacre?
Dude, Kirby is a 5, and if anyone argues a 5, they have no soul.
Yeah. Kirby is an easy 5 out of 5. He's Sakurai's little boy.
You know, Kirby is a perfect character. It's the fact that like he is this like cosmically omnipotently powerful character, but then he just cares about getting a slice of cake. He's just a good, happy little boy. He has the potential to like destroy eldritch horrors, but like he'd rather just take a nap. Like, and that's what I love about him, is he's so adorable and versatile as a character. Like he can be cool, but like he can be cute too.
The Kirby series is like, it's just perfect.
It's really good.
And it's like, I don't know how many Kirby games like I can put on like a top 10 list and say like these are some of the best games of all time, but like there's legitimately never been a flop of a Kirby game.
Not only that, but like the Kirby fandom is like actually good. Like,
yeah, they're very like, wholesome and friendly people.
Because like Kirby, because that's what Kirby is.
I think the only dark side to the Kirby fandom is like the people who get really invested in the deep lore that the series has. Like, and it's not even like that they're bad. It's just like you can kind of get like too hyper fixated on details.
You can, there's a lot to dig in there, and you can kind of miss the point of Kirby's just Kirby. I love him,
but
I
like,
love him.
If the worst thing your series can have is that it's too deep and interesting, that people can't contain themselves, like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know, in this house we stand Kirby.
I don't know if this is I don't know if we'll have to edit this out if this is a spoiler or whatever for Planet Robobot, but it's been out for a while. But like one of my favorite things about Kirby is how much he actually is aware of what is happening.
Yeah.
like there's a very specific scene in Planet Robobot where like Susie's talking to him and she's like talking about like galactic conquest and like, you know, like capitalism. And like and then she looks at Kirby and is like, you probably don't understand a word I'm saying to you. And Kirby kind of just tilts his head a little bit. And then later on there is a point where like she turns and is like, Kirby, go help me. And Kirby like, you know, does this really cool thing and gives her this nod of like, yeah, I understand what's going on.
Like, I got it, don't worry.
like I'll help you. And I love that though. That's why Kirby is so perfect, is like the line between what he understands and what he doesn't is so blurred, and it just makes him such a fun character.
I do like that Kirby also kind of blurs the line between like, is he really like a baby though, or is he like like more grown up than we understand? Because a lot of the older Kirby games like kind of depict him as being like he's still childlike, but then he understands adult stuff. Like there's the end of Kirby 64 where Ribbon gives him a kiss and he's like, "Oh." There's stuff like that, but
he's so wholesome. Kirby is a wholesome perfect boy.
And that's the one I gotta say, like, I love how he plays in Smash too.
Oh my gosh. Kirby is one of those ones that, like, because new characters bumped him down the list, I don't play him as frequently, but he's still one I always come back to. Like, I love playing Kirby. I love all his different little hats. I love just Kirby.
Yeah.
Good boy.
The main thing that you really cannot deny, even if you don't like Kirby or you think he's not competitively viable or whatever, the main thing you can't deny is how much effort gets put into him and how much more effort gets put into him with each Smash game. The fact that he has a copy ability for every single fighter in the game, and they're like changing that one special move like radically changes the way you play as him. It's completely insane.
Yeah.
This is a character that has so much heart put into him. And I also like, even though Sakurai passed on the torch with Kirby and he doesn't really work on the series anymore, I'm glad that he still has Kirby in Smash Bros, because it's like, oh, he can keep like, you know, keep up with Kirby and everything and keep adding new touches to him. And oh, it's good. Kirby's so good. It's good.
Kirby's good.
What is it? The voice actress of Kirby.
Yes.
she's a fan of like the Neo Geo and the SNK fighters and all that, and they put Terry in the game, and she's like, I got to use Power Wave as Kirby.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's extremely wholesome.
Kirby's good.
All right. Now we should have less to talk about with the coming characters.
Kirby was one. We're gonna have a Kirby episode eventually, and
we will. It's, trust me, like, I mean, I joked about it on the Metal Gear Rising episode, but we almost didn't play Metal Gear Rising. We almost played Kirby's Dream Land 2. Like,
it's coming.
Kirby stuff is on the way. But our next one is another character that is very near and dear to my heart. Fox.
Fox McCloud.
For me personally, I gave him a 4 out of 5. Not one of those, like, perfect, like, love him favorites, but, like, I really like this character.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like, playing as him in Smash, I'm terrible at Fox. Because, like, he's a fast character, but he's got a little more weight to him. And so, like,
he's got a little oomph in his attacks.
Yeah, I tend to play very lightweight characters, and so, like, he's a little different for me. And so, like, I give him like a 4.5. But, like, as far as character and, like, his personality, I give him a 5 because I adore the Star Fox franchise, and I'm so sad that it's currently in the state that it's in.
Yeah.
Because, like...
things are a little tough with the series.
Like, even things like Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
I still have fond memories of that disaster of a game.
Right. I haven't actually played Star Fox Adventures. I would like to at some point.
Oh boy. If you do, brace yourself, because it's...
Rub tubs.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's nothing like a normal Star Fox, but I'm just saying.
I'm a little sad that Nintendo currently is trying to just constantly remake Star Fox 64 instead of doing something else. Because, like, Assault was one of my favorite Star Fox games. I adored that game.
The big challenge, though, is that Assault felt like a fitting ending to the series.
I know!
And it's like, how do you follow it up from there?
we reboot Star Fox 64 and give it motion controls, which everyone will love.
Yep.
I know.
I wouldn't complain. I liked Zero, but
I liked Zero. I just wish it was its own thing. Instead of trying to be Star Fox 64. Because we have Star Fox 64.
I think more so, I wish they didn't remake Star Fox 64 on the 3DS before doing Zero. Because then it would have just felt like a Link Between Worlds. Like, oh, it's a remake, but it also is its own thing. Whereas, like, they just did the 64 remake, and then they put out Zero, and it was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, but, like, legitimately, Fox as a character, I love him.
I love him so much.
I love, like, because he's a mercenary, but, like, he's also driven by, like, the revenge for, like, his father, but also he's just, like, a good guy. And, like, he
just has this very, like, real backstory that's like, oh man, I feel so sorry for this guy. And it's weird that that's in such an early Nintendo character. We're used to the Bing Bing Wahoo and the Hyapya Links and Donkey Kong have fun.
I mean, there is a little bit of da-da-da-da in there,
right?
But...
He makes his own funny sounds, but like also, my name is Fox McCloud. My dad is dead. Right. That's not a spoiler, by the way. Literally every Star Fox game opens with that.
Yeah. No, but like, he also has like that charismatic leadership to him that just like, he's a cool character.
Yeah.
And he tends to just get relegated to being a meme, and it makes me a little sad.
I mean, Fox
I love memes. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoy the memes too, and I actively participate in them. But like, that's one of the things about Smash Bros. Is a lot of characters get stripped down to their core like meme essence, and people forget that like, oh no, there's like a whole like personality and side to this character.
And like Fox, especially Melee Fox. I do not consider him the same character as Fox. He is his own character.
He is an entirely different character.
A character that I like, to be sure, but very different than actual Star Fox. But I mean, specifically with Fox, so Star Fox 64, I know we're kind of like, Nintendo, stop remaking it. But Star Fox 64 is like another one of my favoritist games of all time.
Agreed.
It's just such a charming game. Like, all the characters in Star Fox are charming. And I like the way Smash Bros. Brings that to the table by doing the Smash Taunt.
Yeah!
You get the little codec calls with Fox's crew. Like, the fact that they did those was just one of those things. I remember finding that in Melee and just being like, this is the coolest secret ever! Like, everyone thought Snake was cool for doing it, but, like, Fox did it first.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's cool, too, because, like, that is the essence of, like, Star Fox 64, is, like, his relationship with his crew and their banter as you play the game.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say, like, this isn't so much about the character, but, like, the Star Fox stages in Smash Bros. Are all pretty cool, too.
Oh, absolutely. They are gorgeous.
And just, like, I don't know. I don't enjoy playing as Fox in the more recent games. Like, go figure, I like playing as Fox in Melee because he was busted. But I was like, why am I so good as Fox? Because I was just a kid and I didn't understand the tiers. But, like, I just love this character. I love this series. I don't know if he'll ever hear it, but I'm calling out my boy Cosmic, the speedrunner. He said he doesn't like rail shooters, and so he doesn't like Star Fox. And I'm like, you soulless monster.
Man, I don't know.
But he did say he likes Star Fox Adventures, so he at least likes something that is Star Fox.
To be fair, that one's easier to speedrun because you're not on rails.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. He can't really speedrun the Star Fox games.
No, it's more about accuracy than it is.
Yeah, it's a high score game. It's more arcadey in nature.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's personally why I like it. But I digress.
Yes.
We shall move on to another extremely iconic character. Tell me, sir, what do you think about the Mickey Mouse of video games?
So...
Pikachu himself.
I think it's no surprise that I gave him a 5.
Absolutely the same.
And I realize, like, there's a lot of argument, like, oh, Pikachu is kind of overrated, like, it's not a good, like competitively good, and it's just popular because, like, the TV show. Here's the thing, for me, my very first Pokemon game ever was Pokemon Yellow version. So my starter was a Pikachu. And that is what started just this bond with a Pokemon that I care very, very deeply about. And like, especially though, in Ultimate, I play the Pikachu Libre outfit. Because when we would play Pokken Tournament, Pikachu Libre was fun as heck, dude. Like,
yeah.
And it's such a great costume. The fact that it's a female Pikachu, which like differentiates it from
it's a fun little detail.
Pikachu. But I also like playing with like the Red's cap.
Yeah.
Pikachu. Like I flip between the two costumes. But like Pikachu just as a character is just really fun and very special to me. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I definitely understand those sentiments, and like growing up, I absolutely loved Pikachu as a character. I mean, like I was a kid who bought into all the Pokemon marketing hype. Like I was the exact age demographic to be just like a mindless Pikachu fanboy. Since then, my tastes have evolved.
Quite literally.
Yes, and Raichu is my favorite Pokemon. So like whenever I see Pikachu, I'm just like, oh, you're just a step away from perfection. Like,
oh, if only you knew.
But I mean, that's not to say like there's anything bad about Pikachu. I think Pikachu, I don't know. People who think Pikachu is overrated don't understand like marketing trends. Like, Pikachu is custom tailored to be the perfect mascot of a series. He's cute, he's cool, he's tough, he's adorable, he's like a pet. If you've ever had like a bond with like a cat or a dog, and just that like unconditional love that your pet has for you, like that is what Pikachu exudes as a character. And that honestly I think is like one of the easiest reasons that Pokemon got massive. Because they had this little guy.
Only that it's kind of in the same vein as like Kirby, but like he can appeal to both male and female demographics in that like he's super cute, but he can still be super cool.
Yep.
Like, and so he can target the female and male demographics at the same time just by being like having such a solid design.
I'm like, yeah, put this into perspective. What's his name? Harada, the creator of Tekken. His favorite Pokemon is Pikachu because of his versatility as a character and with a design. I'm like,
there you go.
That blew my mind to learn. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think it's very obvious why Pokemon got successful, and like Pikachu is a very good representation of all of that. And the coolest thing about Pikachu is that he's one of those ones that's been there since the beginning of Smash Bros. And because he was such a recognizable character for me, like, I've just always had Pikachu, and I've never had to worry about if he was gonna get cut.
Gee, I wonder if they'll cut Pikachu in the next Smash Bros. Game.
That's where, like, half of the Smash Bros. Budget comes from.
Yeah.
And the other half comes from Fire Emblem, but... Right. But, like, in every single game, Pikachu just has that, like, rush-down, combo-heavy, like, moveset that's just, like, so satisfying. And it's... I don't know. It's just freaking great.
Pikachu's got a fun toolkit. He's
almost always been high tier. Like,
not to mention, like, the number of years of, like, playing against your Pikachu, and trying to get inside of your head, and, like, the back and forth, like I adore playing as Pikachu, but also, like, I associate it heavily with, like, you playing this game,
playing as him, because that was the one growing up until, like, there was that moment in Melee where I was like, no, I'm playing as Falco because Falco's awesome and he's broken as heck. But, like, whether as a main or on the back burner, I've just always had Pikachu to play as, and that's just one of those things I enjoy, is that, like, it's something familiar that's always going to be there in Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
He's beautiful. I love this sweet little rat boy. Get him a Thunderstone in the next Smash Bros. That was the one I was like, Nintendo could never justify putting Raichu in Smash. Like, way too many people would be mad, and we already have Pichu, but I was just like, but if they did that...
Maybe they'll put an Alolan Raichu in. I mean, they did as a Pokeball.
Well, yeah, he's a Pokeball, and I like that there's even that. Because he's one of the good ones.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Oh, man. I could gush about Pikachu forever. He's a good boy, just like Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
But we do need to move on. We got somebody great to move on to.
Oh my goodness. Is it time?
Brace yourselves for the worst financial year of Nintendo. It's the year of Luigi.
Okay. Luigi's a 5.
I will say he's only a 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah. Here's the thing. As far as his playstyle, I put him at a 4.
Right.
Because I don't typically like playing Luigi's playstyle, but, like, as a character, he is a solid 5. I adore Luigi.
Actually, a 4 out of 5 is still pretty generous, though.
I mean, yeah, a 4 out of 5 is still good.
But yeah, like, even though Luigi's not a 5 out of 5 for me, I'm pretty sure we're going to share a lot of the same sentiments about this character.
I like Luigi a lot. Like, because again, going back, I know I keep bringing up Mario Party, but, like, Luigi and Mario were, like, the two that I would always flip to, and, like, in more recent years, it's always Luigi. I love Luigi because he's... I don't know. He's Mario, but, like...
Green.
Well, okay, yeah, he's green. He is Green Mario. But also, like, there's... I want to say just a little more character to him.
Yeah, like, that was the thing. I was already saying, like, I think people are kind of out of touch when they say that Mario has no personality. But Luigi has vastly more personality than Mario.
Yes.
So, like, that's saying something. Like,
yes,
it is very obvious to see, like, the amount of personality in this character, and I think that's one of, like, his strongest
Not
points.
to mention, I have a friend who mains Luigi, and I have 2 friends who main Luigi. But,
nice.
Like, this one friend, he is competitive, like, Smash Bros. Player, and his Luigi is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fighting his Luigi is, like, one of the single scariest experiences I've ever had in this world.
I bet the Luigi nerfs were kind of a breath of fresh air for your circle.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, ooh, Luigi, like, you don't want to mess with Luigi. He's pretty good.
Yeah, Luigi's pretty good. Luigi's number 1. And that's the thing, too, like, He's just, once again, a very good boy.
You know what? As we've been talking about this, I'm going to update it to a 5 out of 5.
Yes!
Because I was about to get into one of my most relevant points about Luigi, and that instantly made me realize that he's a 5 out of 5 character. Luigi's Mansion!
Yes!
I love that game! That's like, I keep talking about like my favoritist games. Luigi's Mansion is like an easy top 5 for me.
Oh, dude.
I am head over heels for that game.
The ending to the first one gets me very emotional every time.
I know. It's always the brother stuff.
Yes. And that's the other thing too, is like his dynamic with Mario. Like, I know a lot of people like meme and make fun of it, but like genuinely, like they are wonderful brothers.
They love each other, and it's something that's beautiful.
Luigi. I need I say more than that. Also, there's a video of Critical Role Matt Mercer playing Luigi.
Yeah.
and just there's this bit where Matt's like, "Oh no, dude, Luigi's got like an 8-pack. Like people are sleeping on Luigi. He's shredded." And then Travis Willingham is like, "Wait, they sleep on Luigi?" And then Matt's like, "The lucky ones. Let's go." I'm just like, gosh dang it, I can't, I have to love this.
I always think about that. Do you remember the Smash Bros. Brawl mods where there's like the shredded Luigi?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, something else that's great about Luigi. His nose. And like the physics on it are so entertaining.
Real-time nose physics.
Like the fact you throw, there was like the thing in Brawl where like you throw the item and his nose stretches in the direction of
he
the
gets
item.
that like Squidward nose. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh man, that's good.
Luigi's a 5 just on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that just for nose physics. Okay, moving on. Very hard to move on from Luigi, but we must.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we got a boy Ness.
Ness. So here's the thing. I gave Ness a 3. I like Ness. I think Ness is good. Mm. I have not played Earthbound. Yeah,
that's... I'm in the same boat. Like, I like Ness because of what he represents, but I haven't played Earthbound either. Mm-hmm. And I know I need to.
Yeah, and it's one of those things because, like, I have played Mother 3, and so, like, I lean more towards Lucas because I like his play style more, and, like, I like him I know him as a character.
You dirty pirate.
As soon as Nintendo brings it to America, I will.
We don't have a choice. I know. We all will.
The instant it becomes available, I am buying it and playing it again.
We'll get to that more when we talk about Lucas.
Yeah, but, we'll talk about that later. But the thing is, I still really like Earthbound, and it is definitely like it is a tragedy that Earthbound in America got the ad campaign of "This game stinks."
Yep.
Whereas in Japan, it got the ad campaign of "No crying until the end."
A more appropriate ad campaign.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the vibe of Earthbound. I love how strange it is and how, like, it looks child-friendly, but has so much, like, underneath the hood.
There's some very terrifying implications of Earthbound.
And not even the terrifying stuff, just like everyone's like, haha, it's a fun game where kids get magical powers and go on adventures. The first boss of Earthbound is a guy with a knife. Like, a grown man with a knife who's gonna stab you and kill you with his knife. Like, that is, Earthbound is like, it's fun, but it doesn't mess around, and I like that.
No, it doesn't. It's so, like, weird and different, and it inspired Undertale. You have to love it.
You have to love it just on principle.
Yes.
I mean, many things inspired Undertale.
Yes, very much the case. But like I like Earthbound, and so by extension, like Ness is just charming.
I know. I've always appreciated NESS just for being there, and like all the Earthbound stages, music, like that kind of stuff. Like it always just brings a pleasant atmosphere to Smash. And then people play NESS online.
Yeah. Once again, my feelings about the character very heavily separated from like your generic Smash community.
That's the one thing is like specifically with NESS players that are like that, like it's a little too hard for me not to associate him with that.
Yes,
like,
that's fair.
Separating my opinion from that, like he's very good, maybe even a 4 out of 5. But because there's that stigma, it's kind of like
there's that big stigma that's like, oh boy. No, that's like, very fair.
Ness is just really charming. I loved him in Subspace Emissary and the way that he and Lucas played off each other as characters was something that was like very cool and also like made for a good introduction for Lucas.
Yep. I just man, I like Earthbound a lot.
Yeah. That's what happens when musicians take the director lead for video games.
Oh, man, and that's the thing, too. I know you mentioned the music, but, like, very specifically, I want to mention the song Pollyanna.
Oh, yeah,
I Believe in You.
Beautiful one.
Like, that is one of the most beautiful, catchy songs ever, and I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I looked at who's next.
Yeah! We're here, baby!
Oh, here it is.
The Smash Bros. Main character himself.
Yes.
Captain Falcon.
So, here's the thing, too, for anyone listening that doesn't know. Because my group of friends, and I think by extension just us.
Yeah.
Captain Falcon is essentially the Chuck Norris of Smash Bros.
He is like, you combine Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, John Wick, like every
yes
legendary like killing machine. One man army.
Majestic like specimen.
The peak of the male human specimen.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was Wario, but Captain Falcon can be that too.
Captain Falcon is beyond the peak of the male specimen.
Well, here's the thing too about Captain Falcon. There is this style to him. I think I should say he is a 5.
Yeah,
no question.
5 out of 5, like instantly.
But like, because there's this thing about Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon will take you down, but he will do it with flair. And I will always advocate for a character that can do that. Because I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I think the Falcon Punch as a move alone nets him the easiest 5 out of 5. Like,
yes. No question. That's how it was in Smash 64 when he showed up.
Mm-hmm. As one of those people who didn't play F-Zero before seeing this guy. And in fact, people who played F-Zero hadn't seen this guy because his debut was Smash Bros. But just like the fact that he was calling out his moves, he was like, Falcon Punch! Is just so like,
Falcon Kick!
Oh yeah, this guy's awesome!
He's so cool. Well, and then like, even in Smash 64, his victory screen for classic mode is him being like, thank you for playing. Yes, I am the best. But like, even because we growing up, I had a friend who had it, and eventually we got our own copy, but just F-Zero GX.
I was about to bring up that game too.
That game is so good.
That game is amazing.
There's so many, there's so many, there's so many racers they could put this game to shame.
Mm-hmm.
I think, what was his name? Was it Leon? He was the wolf dude. That was my character. But like, Captain Falcon is great. Dude, it's a racing game where you can win by beating the crap out of the other racers.
For real, it's awesome. F-Zero GX is just amazing. And the interesting thing about Captain Falcon in Smash is that he does not pull from his game for his moveset.
The only thing he pulls is, like, he is one of the fastest characters in the game.
Right. He has, like, before Sonic, he had the highest running speed. Very obviously, because he is a lightning fast racer. But, like, the thing that is interesting to me about Captain Falcon and why his destiny is so interwoven with Smash Bros. Is the fact that before anything else was made in Smash Bros., his moveset was the first thing that was made in Smash Bros. Because back when the game was Dragon King, the fighter...
That's right.
The base model that they had for the 4 unnamed fighting characters had the Captain Falcon moveset, and so he was the character that was chosen to fit that model.
Captain Falcon's greatness is integral to Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm. And it's like his only canonical appearance before Smash Bros. Was a comic.
Mm-hmm.
An F-Zero comic. So he's not even a video game character originally.
Nope, he's a comic book character. He
is a comic book character, and like you said, man, his moveset is freaking flashy. The one thing I will say about Captain Falcon, this does not diminish his 5 out of 5 score, but good. I just wish we had more stuff from F-Zero and Smash. More stages, more music, another character.
If they just made F-Zero GX, but made it just look more up to date.
Yeah, an HD port on like the Switch or something with online.
So we get those motion capture Power Ranger movements of his.
Yes. Like, don't change the cutscenes. Those are perfect.
They're so good.
Mm-hmm. Now, that is one thing. Like, a lot of people say, like, oh, they should put, what's his name? Black Shadow in Smash Bros. And, like, take the old Ganondorf moveset and put it on him. I'm kind of more in the camp. I think they should put in Deathborn, who's the bad guy of GX. Because he has a very Ganondorf-like build. But it would make sense for him to be a Captain Falcon-like character, but, like, slower and harder hitting.
Has Deathborn was added in GX, wasn't he?
Deathborn has only ever been in GX.
Okay. I think that might also be a reason that people are advocating Black Shadow, because he's been...
Right, because he's more recognizable as a villain, and there is the iconic Falcon Punch scene from the anime. But... Black Shadow is a lame villain. Deathborn is a really cool villain.
That's the other thing, too. In the dub, his voice is so much higher pitched than you think it should be. And that makes him so lame.
Because GX specifically tried to make Black Shadow like as lame as possible, so that way they could make Deathborn look really cool.
Yeah.
So maybe my opinion of Deathborn is colored by the fact
we have a color palette for Blood Falcon, though.
Yeah, that one's neat. But, like, he's just Captain Falcon, but
that's exactly what he is.
We don't even need an Echo Fighter, because he's just, like, a literal, in his own game series, clone of Captain Falcon. So...
Yep.
But it is nice that he's got it. Anyway, Captain Falcon's awesome.
Yep.
Like, so be sure to down throw that subscribe button, hit it with the knee of justice, click the like button with a Falcon Punch...
And show me your moves.
And show me your moves in the comments below.
There you go.
I love Captain Falcon.
Cap's good.
All right, so this is the last one of the original 12, and we've been at this for like an hour.
Oh, boy.
Oh, how many are there? 80?
Yeah.
So next we got Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff.
What'd you give Jigglypuff?
I actually gave Jigglypuff a 5.
Wow.
It's one of those ones. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't play Jigglypuff a lot, but like, Smash has kind of made Jigglypuff kind of amazing, because like she was just put in as a joke in Smash, like what feels like a joke, because like, oh, her model's similar to Kirby, so it's easy to program. And then, like, her moves aren't great in the hands of somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. However, in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing, Jigglypuff becomes an absolutely terrifying force.
Uh-huh.
And, like, it's so weird how Jigglypuff managed to stay relevant as Smash kept, like, evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, there were other cuts, and, like, Jigglypuff was still in the game, and then, like, it'd be like, okay, we need to get rid of Jigglypuff, because, like, she's not relevant, and then, like, oh, fairy types are a thing. Oh, Jigglypuff's now a fairy type, so, like, now it's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, like, it's just, like, Jigglypuff is just kind of funny to me.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that kept the Jigglypuff relevance alive was, how surprisingly good she was in Melee. And like that back air that just takes lives.
The wall of pain.
Yeah. So I'm surprised. I thought you were going to have less positive stuff to say about Jigglypuff than me. I gave Jigglypuff a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I might bump her down. A 5 might be generous, but like Jigglypuff is a very like synonymous with Smash Bros. And like especially in the competitive scene. And so like it's once again like the in-game character versus like the persona that they've adopted in Smash Bros. And it's so Jigglypuff is so entertaining. It's like she has a move where she falls asleep and everyone is afraid of it. Like
yeah.
Her shield breaks and she instantly dies.
Yeah, honestly, the shield break thing is my favorite thing about Jigglypuff, because that is so
funny. You pop the balloon!
Now that's the thing. I totally respect the fact that they could not get away with this for Pikachu, but I do wish in like the next Smash they would make it Wigglytuff instead, so it would be like the true power, the true power of this Pokemon, and kind of like bigger like hitboxes, maybe a little bit more stuff, maybe like a fairy type attack or something.
Yeah, we got Gigantamax before it was a thing.
How right you are. I always thought Jigglypuff's final smash was kind of stupid, but like now that you put it in that context, it's like, oh my gosh, that's what it is.
Smash Bros continues to predict the future. I'm just saying.
It's freaking crazy. Smash Bros predicts so much stuff that happens in later games.
Oh man.
Okay. But yeah, Jigglypuff, I like her. She is another one of those ones that's mostly a Smash Bros character. More so than like, because Game Freak doesn't even really acknowledge Jigglypuff, like aside from like it's a fairy type. You're not going to use this Pokemon, but it's a fairy type now.
It was. I feel like it got into the game because it was like a recurring character in the anime.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and like the anime of the first season of the anime heavily influenced the way Pokemon are depicted in Smash Bros.
Yep.
So I'll give you that one.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that, like, I don't know. Those of us that, like, play Smash regularly have that story of going and facing off a newbie and being like, all right, pick my character. And they're like, oh, you play Jigglypuff. That'll be
Jigglypuff
easy.
Sucks because it's cute.
It's round, pink, squishy. And just, okay, and then proceed to just body them because you know the game better.
Yep. Oh, good times.
Yeah. Speaking of pink.
You like pink? We got the Princess of Pink herself.
Yeah. So, for me, Peach is actually a 5. So this is one of those ones, especially in Smash 4, Peach was in my top 5. Like, I don't remember what it was. I think it was her little, like, dance taunt where she, like, goes, la, 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 la. Like, I just, one day, picked her, and I started doing that, and then proceeded to, like, body somebody, and I was like, dude, this is fun. And then she has the victory line. I'm like, this is fun. And I'm just like, Peach, why are you so much fun in this game?
I do remember that, just very out of the blue, you just started playing Peach one day, and then she became like a staple.
Yeah. Well, it's like her recovery with the umbrella is really fun. The Peach Bomber is fun. Like, she just, I don't know what it is. She's just a fun character, and she is, like, when I think of characters that got bumped down the list when new editions came, and so I stopped playing her as much, Peach is, like, the #1 first character I think of that got that treatment of just getting pushed down the list, because, like, I played her so much.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I kind of don't have as much to say. I give Peach a 3 out of 5.
That's fair.
She's kind of typically been one of the Mario characters I least enjoy. Which is, I guess that's kind of a bold claim. Basically until, I don't know, there's, like, Peach in the Paper Mario games, and she's really great in those, and, like, Mario RPG and stuff. But, like, when it comes to the mainline Mario games, she's usually just kind of, like, actually brainless, and and just, like, oh, she gets kidnapped a bunch, and she's just a hassle for Mario and everything. They started making her a lot more fun in Odyssey.
Okay.
So whenever you get to that one, if you really like Peach, then, like, you'll probably really like her in Odyssey.
Yeah. What's funny is I tend to not like her as much, like, in her actual franchise. Yeah. But, like, in Smash, I really like Peach.
Yeah.
I think she's really fun in Smash Bros.
And so that's the thing for me. I like Peach's moveset and how it represents, like, Mario 2 and stuff, and
yeah.
I do think she's perfectly fine and perfectly welcome in Smash. I just kind of feel like she's, like, the regressing feminism by 40 years kind of character. But
fair. Very fair.
And I mean, I don't know. There are some, like, very girly princessy characters that I do still like, but she's just kind of not one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got specific tastes in female characters, as evidenced by my 5 out of 5 for Samus.
Yeah, I will also say, though, like, when I play Peach, it is most definitely the Fireball outfit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Peach has a lot of good alt. Like,
she really
like,
does.
They get, like, especially, like, from 4 and Ultimate, like, they give her some really good outfits. I like the black and yellow one.
Oh yeah.
Or, like, the solid gold dress, like, that's another one that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good alts. Like, I have good things to say about Peach, but, like, I'm just kind of, like, middle of the road with her as a character.
That's fair.
Like, she's never stood out to me, but she's not, like, so offensive that I hate her or anything.
Speaking of offensive.
Hi, I'm Daisy! We got an Echo Fighter.
I'm curious what you have to say, because I have a very interesting take on this character.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what to rate this one. Part of me wants to give this a 2 out of 5, and part of me wants to give this a 3 out of 5. Like, a lot of people joke about how Luigi is just green Mario. Like, yeah. Daisy is kind of just yellow Peach.
Well, a lowercase d is just an upside down P.
She's Waru Peachy.
Waru Peachy.
I mean, I don't know. There's some fun things about Daisy, like, especially memes.
Yeah.
But, like, there's just not enough that, like, aside from Mario Strikers, there's just not enough that separates her from Peach.
Outside of Mario Strikers, like Mario Strikers, she has so much personality and is, like, awesome in that game, and then it's like, who was that woman, and where did she go for, like, the rest of the franchise?
Also, like, I'm gonna call out every Daisy fanboy out there. Like, this might make some people upset, but, like, the reason you like Daisy and think she has so much personality is exclusively because of Strikers. She is not like that in the other games.
Fair. So, here's the thing about my placement for her. My wife detests Daisy. like Daisy is her mortal enemy.
Oh, that is funny.
Which has made Mario Party so much fun. Where, like, she will actively just be like, as long as Daisy loses, I have won.
That's so
and
great.
So like, I have to hate her because my wife hates her. But like that, like the comedic ability of like hating her has made me like enjoy hating her. So like I give her a 4, but like she's a 2, but she's a 4.
It's like an ironic 4.
It is very much an ironic 4. It's like,
yeah,
I love her as a villain.
That's kind of like me with Waluigi. Like I think like having him be like the unsuccessful loser character makes him a lot of fun as a character.
Yeah.
And
like
so like hating on Waluigi makes him likable.
Yes. It makes it so much more fun because he'll never win.
And Daisy kind of is the girl version of that character.
She is. I will say one thing in defense of her. The red and black outfit is really good.
Oh yeah,
with like the black gloves, actually looks good.
Pretty cool one.
I'll
give you that, definitely. I will also say this about Daisy. Even if I don't like her as a character, I think she is another extremely logical choice for an Echo fighter.
Oh yeah,
like she's just one of those ones that everyone was like, you could just like make an alt skin for Peach that's Daisy, and like we would like that.
Sakurai literally introduced like, all right, Echo fighters are a thing. Speaking of, here's an Echo fighter, and then
Daisy.
Peach got announced. Yeah, Daisy.
And then Peach 2 got announced.
Peach 2,
the yellow Peach.
You know what? She gets a 2 just for being Peach 2.
Apologies to Daisy fans. But again, like I said, it's a very logical choice for an Echo fighter, and the fact that because she's an Echo fighter and not just a reskin of Peach, they put a lot of personality into her animations.
Yes.
Like, she's a lot more peppy and lively and stuff than Peach normally is, and that's kind of fun.
Yep. I will say her animations are really good.
And she has, like, the little, like, peace sign taunt and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. It's kind of weird, because I almost like Daisy less than Peach, but she does have more personality than Peach, for what that's worth. But, yeah. I think we've pissed off Daisy fans enough. Let's move on.
Yeah, you know. That's how we do it. Let's see. Who's up next? Oh!
Up next, we got the King of Koopas himself. We got Mr. Bowser.
Yeah.
Tell me, which 5 out of 5 did you give him? Or did you not give him a 5 out of 5?
He's a 4 for me.
Oh, that tears it! I'm just kidding.
For the reason
4 out of 5 is still pretty good, but
is that he is a heavyweight character. That's not my play style, and so like I never play Bowser.
I'm like, I love heavyweights and I love Bowser.
yeah, and fair. And like again, my love of Bowser usually extends into like the spin-off material, the RPG games, the Mario parties.
We'll just like take a shot every time we say spin-off when talking about a Mario character.
I mean, because that's like the bulk of my Mario history.
It's like for the longest time, it was only the spin-offs where the characters had a lot of personality, and in the main games, they were a little bit plainer.
Paper Mario Bowser is like a 20 out of 10. Like,
yes.
Like the scale goes up to a 10, and then he breaks past that scale and becomes a 20. Like
Super Mario RPG Bowser is like 1,000 out of 10.
Yes, absolutely.
He is such a good character.
And I do like Bowser like as a character. He's super fun.
As a kid seeing Melee for the first time and just being like, I can play as a bad guy? That is so freaking awesome. And
Giga Bowser is really cool too.
Giga Bowser as well, extremely awesome.
Yeah. He's slow. He's the slow hit hard kind of character, and that's never my play style.
Mm-hmm.
I like mobility.
I will say, like, I mean, they kind of sped up everybody in like 4 and Ultimate, but like he's a lot quicker in Ultimate than he was before, and like they did a lot of good balancing with him. So like especially in Ultimate, he's a lot of fun. You got like the tough guy. You get your super armor when using smash attacks, like stuff like that. Like Bowser was just kind of this forgettable nothing of a character in Melee because he was just so bad. Yeah. So like seeing like him get that little boost and everything, and now he's a bit more usable is like, all right.
I guess another reason that I'm just a little anti-Bowser was just because I play a lot of lightweight characters.
Yeah, definitely.
And so Bowser, like heavyweight characters dominate this game. They're really good.
I don't know about that.
I mean, like, you know, in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing. But like just in casual play, like heavyweights, they take a lot of punishment, and if you play a lightweight, one little tap and the playing field has been evened, and it like negates all the hard work you just put in.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Which there's a character later on the list that we're gonna get to that I'm really gonna go off on that. But
all right, but before we get to them, we gotta talk about ice climbers. Remember them?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I actually really like the ice climbers.
Hooray.
I actually gave them a 4.
Oh, nice.
And part of it is in part due to this comic that I found. It was called like Super Smash Bros. Melee Ice Climber Adventure. Or something along those lines. I meant to look it up and like remember who the artist was.
Yeah. If you send it to me later in the Discord, then I can link it like in the comments or something.
Okay. I'll find it and I'll link it to you if I remember.
Or in the description.
Yeah. But essentially it was like this whole it was Super Smash Bros. Melee's adventure mode from the perspective of the ice climbers and how like they work together to overcome every single challenge that comes their way, and it's like really good, and it really made me love the ice climbers because it gave them a lot more personality. But I love like the 2-in-1 fighter. Like I think that's really neat.
Yeah, and that was like as kids we wanted just like 1,000 2-in-1 fighters. Like
I remember my initial pitch for Sonic was a Sonic and Tails 2-in-1 fighter.
I know.
Because I wanted that so bad.
And it would have been cool, but it's also like, well, this is the ice climbers thing. Like
yeah. Which is fine, they can have it.
So for me, I give the ice climbers a 3 out of 5. For one major reason. I do really like these characters. I forget that they're in the game sometimes just because there's so many. Like these are like ice climbers are literally one of the ones that like I just forget about. Like there's a handful of those ones that just get pushed to the bottom of my memory, which is not very good in the first place. But when I do remember the ice climbers, I think they're very cute characters, and the buddy system is really charming. And for what it's worth, the original Ice Climbers game is a charming game, but it's just like, Nintendo, you gotta do something new with these characters. Like, yeah, this is another one of those ones that like only Smash Bros is keeping them alive. In fact, if it weren't for Smash Bros, nobody would even know that Ice Climbers was the thing. Or people would be putting their like, yo, put Ice Climbers in Smash.
Yeah.
Well, put Ice Climber in Smash, because no one could comprehend the dual character thing.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo, do more with this character. I know you guys could revitalize Ice Climbers, and it doesn't have to be, like, Kid Icarus Uprising level of revitalizing them, but, like, just make, like, a freaking, like, mobile game or something with them, like...
You know, yeah.
Or just, like, a cute little, like, low-budget $10 game that, like, adds some more personality to the characters, maybe redesigns them. Like, just give them something. They're cute. They're perfectly usable.
It's one of those things, too. That's the other thing, too. I don't know what it is in me. When I play Ice Climbers, and you kill my Nana, the beast awakens.
The desire for vengeance.
Like, revenge enters my heart in that moment, and I'm just like, so you have chosen death. Like, and like, it's funny, but it's also really fun going into like that panicked frenzy of like, I'm missing my other half. I need to play better, and then I just proceed to go on a rampage. It's just really fun.
Mm-hmm. All right, so with our next character, I'm a little turned around. What do your notes say? Who is the next character?
The next character that I have on here is SHEIK.
Okay, so I did get that right as the website listed, because I would think Zelda would come first, but it has her as 17 and SHEIK is 16.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about SHEIK. 5 out of 5.
5 out of... Let me guess. Ninja.
Yes, that is the first thing I have in my notes. Like a bullet point that just says ninja and no other context. I like ninjas.
That's fair. Here's the thing. SHEIK's design and like character like buffs the crap out of SHEIK like on my list. But then it gets lowered to like a 3 because I don't like SHEIK's playstyle and not being able to kill.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't like Luigi's playstyle, and I gave him a 5 out of 5.
That's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. But, like, legitimately, like, SHEIK having no kill moves and being the super rad ninja is, like, why, though?
Right. Well, and that was... SHEIK was, like a easy top 5 pick for me in Smash 4. And then they nerfed the heck out of her in Ultimate, and I was just like...
Yeah.
I don't want to play with you anymore. Bye, Woody.
Yeah, but like that's the thing too. I want to like SHEIK because like SHEIK is one of the coolest parts of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, definitely. It's basically the equivalent of the Darth Vader plot twist. Like, you can't go into this game not knowing it, and like if you do, it's because you've hardly played video games. But, like, it's just one of those so well-known plot twists. But it's such a cool plot twist. Which we won't say in case anyone hasn't.
Yeah.
Anyway. But, yeah, like, I just like SHEIK, and I like playing as SHEIK in Smash Bros. Because you just feel like a ninja. I will say, specifically, I played a lot of SHEIK in Brawl.
That's
Brawl
I
was
do
where I
remember
most
that.
enjoyed playing SHEIK.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I just remembered that I missed on SHEIK was the Belmont whip.
Oh yeah, because
just being able to fling it around, like I'm really glad they removed it because like bouncing fish is just a better move. But
at the same time, I'm glad that the Belmonts can do it too.
yeah. Like I'm glad that we did that because like. I remember though loving playing SHEIK, just being able to flip that chain around like all over the place. It was so stupid and it did nothing, but it was so much fun.
It was so funny. Another like big like boost in why I like SHEIK specifically in Ultimate. The design for SHEIK in Ultimate uses the Sheikah armor from Breath of the Wild, and I love that armor set. That was my preferred armor set while playing through Breath of the Wild, so the fact that it's just there on SHEIK, I'm like, yes! Just... It looks so good.
Yeah. Speaking of looking good...
Oh no, it's... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like... I will always and forever be a Samus stan, and don't let anything detract from that, but... This Zelda in Smash Ultimate is the most attractive character I've ever seen in a video game.
I'm so glad they used the Link Between Worlds design. It is so good. It is so good.
Well, and I'm glad it's not like a chibi Zelda from A Link Between Worlds, because like the chibi art style is what they were going for, but they sort of like humaned her out.
Yeah.
And it's like... My word, that is a cute looking character.
Yeah, she just embodies the best of like every Zelda.
She's like, she went from like, and again, nothing wrong with the Twilight Princess Zelda. I do like that one, but like in this game, she is so expressive and happy and jumpy and like waving and cheery, and it's just so like, wow, she's so happy to be here.
Yeah.
And then they buffed the frick out of her.
Yeah, dude. Like, that's the other thing, too, is she's fun to play as.
She's finally, like, capable of destroying people.
It's so much fun.
I didn't even say it. What do you give her on a scale of 1 to 5?
Oh, 5. Easy.
That's pretty
5.
good. Despite all the praise I'm giving, I give her a 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's fair. Design alone isn't enough. But
actually,
like,
no, you know what? I'm giving her a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I guess it is.
It is. It's such a good design.
My favorite thing about this too, every Zelda character, because of this decision, is from a different Zelda game.
Not entirely.
I mean, not entirely, but like...
Sheik and Ganon are technically both Ocarina of Time.
Yes, but like, Sheik also has the Breath of the Wild armor. So it's...
Link is already Breath of the Wild.
I know. Like what I mean is, Sheik's kind of in this weird limbo. Because also, like, Sheik never appeared outside of Ocarina of Time.
Sheik represents the Twilight Princess Sheik that never got to be.
Yes, like, that's what it is. But like, I really love this decision to just be like, hey, A Link Between Worlds, let's throw a bone to like this game that's really good.
Yeah, they got a lot of diversity of Zelda games now with the cast of characters, whereas before it was like all Twilight Princess and then Toon Link. Like,
yes. And so it made me happy. Like, I don't know. I like this Zelda.
It's so, and especially like when you take like the alt of Zelda with the Twilight Princess colors. She got the brown
with
hair,
the brown hair.
The purple dress. It's just like, oh, I love this character.
Isn't there also a Hilda alt?
Yes, there is.
Which, again, Link Between Worlds is a really good game. Like,
it is. It's extremely good. Like, I know I kind of just seem like the shill who likes the most recent Nintendo games. But I promise before Breath of the Wild came out and was amazing, Link Between Worlds was like my favorite Zelda game.
The thing too for me, because I never played A Link to the Past, and so that was my exposure to A Link to the Past. But it, like, I don't know,
in a more modernized way.
It felt like A Link to the Past, but more.
Yeah. Did you know in Japanese, like, I forget like the actual name that it goes by, but it's basically the title of A Link Between Worlds is just A Link to the Past 2.
Really?
Yeah, they just straight up like name it a sequel.
Huh.
It's really interesting, and it works as a sequel, but also as its own game. So,
but yeah, this is Zelda 5 out of 5.
This is very good. Like, I was not crazy about Zelda in the previous Smash iterations, especially when you could change to Sheik, and then I was just like, haha, now I'm a ninja. But they did a really good job of making Zelda stand on her own in this game.
Yeah. All right, so next character.
Our next character that we've got is Dr. Mario.
So Dr. Mario is my first one on the list. And here's the thing. I want to reiterate what we said at the beginning. A 1 means they're fine. I like them well enough that, like, I'm glad they're in the game.
A 1 means we don't like them as much as the other characters that are in the game, not that we hate them.
If I had to pick one character to remove from this game, I got my eyes on you, Doc.
Ooh. I have a contender for that we'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
I know you'll disagree with me, but
yeah.
But we'll get to that.
The biggest reason for it is we already have Mario.
Yeah.
And, like, Dr. Mario just feels like a worse Mario.
Yeah, I would say with, like, the new improvements that, like, Ultimate adds, it's a little bit more forgivable, but, like, I do understand, definitely.
Well, and then, because the biggest thing, I wouldn't hate him so much if he was an Echo Fighter. If, like, Dr. Mario was just an echo of Mario.
You mean, like, in name?
Yeah.
Because he kind of is.
Well, like, he is, but he's his own character.
Like, he's listed in the game as his own character.
Yeah, he's listed as a separate character. And, like, the only real difference in moveset is like his spin.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. His spin and his down air.
Well, and also just his general mobility. He's like a heavyweight. He's a chunkier Mario.
He ate more pasta cannolis that he could afford because he went to medical school. So he's
I'd say it's all his medical gear weighing him down.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
he's got all these charts. He's got a stestoscope.
He's got a defibrillator in his pocket that he uses in his gloves that he uses
to zap fry his foes. I guess, say what you will about him, he's at least fun to joke about.
Oh, yeah, no. He's really fun to joke about. And like I said, I like him fine. It's more the fact that, like, because he's not an Echo, but he's, like, his own thing, but he's still similar enough to regular Mario that I sit there and I go, alright, what's your deal, Mario? Why are you here a second time? Why did you enter Smash Bros. And be like, oh, I'm here because I'm Mario. I'm supposed to be. Go around to the back of the line and then come in a second time and be like, oh, you know, I'm Mr. Nintendo.
I'm getting in line a second time. Hello again, Mario.
Hello again, Mario. I don't know. And maybe because I have no history with, like, the puzzle game. And that's the other thing, too, is, like, the source material is the puzzle game. But it doesn't really draw on, like, any of that aside from, like, he's dressed like a doctor.
He's got the pill.
And he's got the pills, and his cape is a bed, like a sheet.
I don't know if you've seen the like the change in the animation in Ultimate. Now it's like instead of swinging it like a cape, he actually like pulls it from the ground, like pulls it out from under.
Huh.
Just a little animation change, not enough to bump up his score any higher.
Not enough to warrant anything.
Yeah.
But...
So I have not had a chance to get in much of my thoughts on Dr. Mario, but I gave him a 2 out of 5.
Ooh.
Which this is my first 2 out of 5, I think. Unless Daisy. Well, I wasn't decided if Daisy was a 2 out of 5 or
Daisy's all over the place. Daisy is an amorphous black hole.
This is my first definitive 2 out of 5. Let's just say that. One of the best things that he adds that cannot be overlooked is the fever theme.
Yes, that's fair. But that was still in Smash Bros. When he was absent.
Yeah. Because it was just that good. I will say, like, they didn't even do a Dr. Mario stage. They really, like... It feels like they didn't put a lot of effort into him, which is kind of sad, because this is, like, Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah.
And somehow, it's the weirdest thing. His final Smash... So it's, like, supposed to be the same thing as Mario, but instead of 2 fireballs, it's 2 pills. But I swear it's weaker. Like, there's something about his final Smash that just never kills, and I can't put my finger on why. But like, I'm not crazy. Charlie Day.
I don't know. I don't really play Dr. Mario, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm not crazy. His final Smash is worse, and I can prove it. No, but like, I think he's fun to meme around about, but he is probably one of the least, like, necessary inclusions to Smash. I just like things about the source material of Dr. Mario, so that's why I'm not instantly like, I hate him, give him the axe. It was a bit more egregious in Melee when, like, Luigi was still really similar to Mario as well. So it was kind of just like there was 3 Marios. Now that they've had a chance to, like, separate the 3 and kind of distinguish them as their own characters, like, obviously Mario and Luigi hold up, and Dr. Mario's kind of the weak link. But
yeah,
I don't know. I really respect anyone who will go off stage and use a Dr. Mario fair. Like,
a very brave soul you are,
because you will not make it back. Like,
no,
that
is you have committed. You have committed to law school. You are going for the full 4 years.
You are going for the punishing route of getting a PhD.
And that's the thing. I want to stress that, like, a 1 does not mean that I hate him. Like, if I had to pick a character that I had to axe, he'd be the one that I would be looking at.
There has to be a least liked character out of a cast of 80 characters.
And like, it's just because of like, well, we already have Mario. Like, what do you bring that's different? And even then, I still like him well enough. Like, he's fun to joke about. I love making medical medical practice jokes. The fact that like he's Mario, but with it's Mario, the cooler Mario, like the Mario with a PhD.
Yeah. Or like what was the one? It's like, so get this, Mario and Dr. Mario are two separate people, but Mario is also a doctor. Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Stuff like that cracks me up. But that was like, I don't know. I don't feel like you needed to defend yourself too much to give him a 1 out of 5. I am really going to have to defend myself for some of the 1s out of 5s.
That's fair. And
but
like,
we'll see.
Again, I still like him well enough. I just want to stress that. I'm like, no, I still like him. He's still, like, there's still charm to his character. The fact that Mario's in here a second time, like... It's the fact that he's not an Echo makes me sit there and like squint my eyes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. All of like the returning old ones from Melee that were technically Echoes in Melee are not considered Echo fighters, even though they are.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing too. Is there's the whole Marth Roy debacle.
Yeah, we'll get into the thick of that. Our next character embodies that too.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I wouldn't want them to change him too much because he's a returning from Melee character. That like he did get the axe, and then he's back, and like
I like that. Fair. I like that he's there just on the principle of everyone is here. So it's like, yeah, you got to bring him back because everyone is here.
Because we're bringing back everybody.
In that sense, I think it's justified. I was a little disappointed in Smash 4 when he was one of the returning fighters, but
yeah.
Mostly I was just hoping for a Dr. Mario stage, and it never happened. All right, have we said our piece about the good Doctor?
I have.
All right, then let's move on to another very polarizing character in the Smash Bros. Series. For multiple reasons, in fact. But
yes.
Next, we got our little baby boy, Pichu.
I gave Pichu a 4.
Wow, that's really cool. I gave him a 5. Beat that. Because if Pikachu is just Lil Raichu, this is baby Lil Raichu.
Baby Lil Raichu. So here's the thing, too, because, like, the reason I gave him a 4 is, like, given the choice between the two, I'm gonna pick Pikachu every time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that said, I do like Pichu. I already like Pikachu's playstyle. It's the same. Because I have this very vivid memory in Melee of, like, picking up Pichu, like, as a joke. Because I was like, yeah, you know what, whatever. I'll hurt myself. I'm the lightest character in the roster.
I'll just dork around as Pichu.
Yeah. And then I proceeded to just wreck shop. And I'm like, all right, I am at like 307%, but I am 2 stocks ahead of everyone. What is with this little monster and his knockback?
Yep. That's the thing. Like, there's characters like Hero or Game & Watch that embody the gambler personality type. Pichu embodies, like, the flex.
Yes.
as a personality type. Like, when you're like, oh, I'm gonna take this crappy little rat with no range, he damages himself, and I'm gonna annihilate you with him. I've always loved that.
Yeah. Not to mention, because you were out of the country. You didn't get to play Smash when it released.
I wasn't playing Smash for a while.
So you didn't get top tier Pichu.
No, I missed that completely. I would have been a Pichu main, like, probably. Yes. Like, had I played the game at launch instead of, like, waiting that extra year while I was in Ecuador, like, I would have been a Pichu main, and I would have been doing all the nasty things with the combos.
Also, I'm gonna say it, Team Skull Hat.
Oh, yeah, the Team Skull Hat. I like the focus band.
Yeah,
I think that's a cool one because I like using that because I'm like, you got to give me that extra endurance that Pichu doesn't have.
I gotta hold on somehow.
Yep. I'm gonna go outright and say it. Like, this kind of shows my bias, just again because I love Pikachu and in general, like all of the Raichu line. I think Pichu is the best of like the Echo Fighter clone characters. He's my personal favorite because he is a lot like Pikachu, which is already a character I love a ton, but then he also has a lot of stuff that like makes him unique in a lot of ways. That's just, he's so cute and he's so much fun to play as.
Yep.
He's got all those cute animations of him like rolling around and dancing and smiling, and when you whiff a grab, he gets that look on his face. Like,
oh no, I've messed up.
Yeah. So definitely, like, there's a lot of people that probably bandwagoned on Pichu at the beginning of Ultimate because he was insanely cheap. Now that he's been nerfed to heck and like out of the tiers and stuff, I just say get good. Just get good and play as Pichu anyways, because he's a cute little boy who deserves it.
Yep. Fair. Oh man, I just looked at the next fighter.
Yeah, boy.
This is one I have a lot of memories facing Falco.
Falco.
So
good times.
Falco, because I noticed I bumped him down a little bit because I was like, well, I can't have him higher than Fox because I like Fox more, but Falco's also like a 4.5.
Yeah, that's what I did too. 4 out of 5.
Oh no, 4.5.
Well, okay, so like you're doing the margins, but
yeah,
more or less we agree. I would even say probably 4.5 for me as well.
Yeah, not quite a 5, not quite a 4, somewhere in between. But like we've already talked about our love of Star Fox. Falco's a great character.
It's just more Star Fox goodness.
Yeah, specifically though, I associate him so much with like you playing him in like Melee, and for a good chunk through like the rest of the franchise, like I remember fearing your Falco.
It was like they radically changed his moveset up in Brawl, and like from that point on. And while the only thing I don't like about that is the dare, and granted, I know I'm complaining about the dare because it was unfairly busted in Melee and has this like unfairly massive hitbox that just spikes. Like, I understand that it was unfair, but I'm like, if we just kept Falco as he was and gave him the dare from Melee, like, this would be an easy top 5 character for me.
Yeah.
Like, I love Falco. Even the ways that they changed his moveset, I still like the ways that he plays. And I love him as a character.
He's a fun character. He's the cocky little punk.
He's a snarky little jerk.
He's so much fun, and he complements Fox as a character like really well. As like, like I'm trying to think of like a good comparison, like almost like Knuckles is to Sonic, where like they're really good friends, but also like they get on each other's nerves.
Yeah, and kind of like the Knuckles of the group, like Falco is really like rough around the edge, whereas Fox is like very like polite and a good leader and whatever. Like Falco is just kind of like he'll trash talk anyone.
he'll say it twice and not even think about it twice. Like he'll be like, "Yeah, you heard me."
I think in the days of Melee, Falco players were the most like their character in that sense. They're just like, yeah, I know I'm good. I'll
my
destroy
gosh. Yeah.
What else?
I like Falco.
I like with our last talk of Star Fox, because we can't keep going on tangents about the series they're from, but I do think the fact that Nintendo kind of stays stuck in like this loop of referencing 64 and not evolving the series, that most hurts Falco as a character, because you could see how much he grew by Assault.
Oh yeah,
because in that
dude.
one, like, he was still like, he would trash talk, he would sass just about everybody, but at that point he was extremely loyal to Fox, and they were like homies in that one.
Oh yeah, well, especially because like it's really cool because he had a character arc across multiple games. With like after 64 and Adventures, he left the group.
He
to
left
go do
the
his
team.
own thing, and then came back. And then from there, like he is the very loyal part of the crew, and so I'm just like, aw,
it's
I
so
like
cool because
Falco.
he like in Assault, he respects Fox as a leader and like appreciates his place as not the leader of the group, but then he's still like competitive with Fox, and he's like, yeah, but I'm still the best pilot. Like,
You're like, look, you're the boss, but I'm the best.
You're the boss, but I'm the secret weapon. Oh man,
I like him.
The year is 20XX. Fox and Falco have dominated the meta.
Oh man.
Oh, so many good memories.
There's also, sorry to bring this up, but like I also have memories way back when we were like young and we'd record videos with like a VHS tape, and we started making like a Smash Bros. Our own original story with Smash Bros. And Falco was the main character because
so
you would play
crazy.
as him.
Falco was the main character because it was a Falco main.
That's exactly what it was. It was so much fun, dude. And like we'd make up our own stories about it. And I was like, dude, Falco, like your Falco, like that is like the most dominant memory of what I associate Falco and you.
Yeah, because I always would play like the Falco with the green alt where he's wearing
the
green jacket.
Yep.
Oh man, those are some long forgotten memories.
Long locked away memories.
Oh man, that takes me back. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of long forgotten memories.
Oh boy. So what did you give Marth?
Marth, our good friend Marth, the face of the Fire Emblem series. You know, his name is almost Mario. It's just 2 letters away. Anyway, I gave him a 3 out of 5.
A 3. That's fair.
What'd you give him?
I gave him a 4, but I could easily persuaded to drop him to a 3. And the reason being, like, I like Marth. Especially, like, his inclusion in Melee. He was so cool, because he was this weird Japanese character. He couldn't speak English. Now he's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, and that weirds me out every time he opens his mouth.
I do think Yuri does a good job of voicing
Oh,
Marth.
he does a phenomenal job.
And I like that we have canonical English voices, but for a time that was the cool thing about Marth, was that he was the character that speaks Japanese. And now we don't have that. I will say I do like how Marth spoke Japanese until we had a canon English voice for him in the US, and then they gave it to him. It seemed appropriate.
The thing, too, is, like, there's, like, a fan personification of the character, and then once again, the actual canon, like, Marth is just bland.
Yeah, I wanted to get into the things I liked about him first, but he is an extremely boring character, and because of that, like, because of how much presence he has in the Fire Emblem series and is such a boring character, like, he's one of my least favorite Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
Like, his game that he's from, like, okay, there's one joke in the entire game that is funny.
I was about to say the one joke in that game is the,
like, there's the bandits that are like, they have a hostage and they're disguising them as an enemy to try and trick Marth into killing them, and they're like, he'll be like, yow, an enemy ambush. And then when Marth sees them, he's like, yow, an enemy ambush. It's a very funny joke. And he is not like that for the rest of the game.
No, he's so boring.
He is like, I don't know, people will like say like, oh, he's just like plain white bread or like vanilla. I'm like, this guy is stale bread. Like, he has the personality of stale, slightly molded bread.
Yeah, just
Now
It's a shame too, because he's cool.
Here's the positives that I have for him. So, like you said, he opened the Fire Emblem floodgates. Like, he is the reason that we have Fire Emblem in the West. Like, you can also attribute it to Roy, but I don't, because people clearly liked Marth more than Roy when the two of them came out, and that was because they programmed Roy badly, but...
yeah. Marth was broken, and
Marth opened the floodgates to let the US see what Fire Emblem was like, and that eventually led to us getting the series. So there's a point for that. And then I will say he gets another 2 points from me because his playstyle is pretty interesting and cool. The fact that there's like the tipper, the tip of the blade does more damage than the base, so you have to be very precise with your movements. And in Melee, because he was, yet again, one of the busted characters, he was a lot of fun to play as.
That's fair.
But, like, since then, I've just kind of, like, stopped playing as him in Smash. Like, there are other Fire Emblem characters, and it's just, like, I wish they stopped putting him on a pedestal, or they made him a compelling character and then put him on a pedestal.
Yeah, because, like, the thing about Fire Emblem, too, is a lot of their personality and characters is in the subtext, or, like, the supports and who you have them talk to. Because, like, there's a very interesting character there in that, like, you know, a lot of his family was killed in front of him, and he had to run off at a very young age, and then round up an army and take back the throne. And I realized that, like, there's a lot of Fire Emblem that does that story, and so it's, like... because the story's been done to death, it makes Marth, like, less compelling by comparison. But, like, there is an interesting character there. It's just buried under a lot of very bland...
Yeah, a lot of the Fire Emblem characters in later games they have the same backstory as Marth, but a lot more personality.
Yeah. Speaking of a lot more personality, unless you want to keep talking about Marth, let's talk about better Marth.
Yeah, let's stop talking about Marth and start talking about Marth.
Lucina's a 5. Lucina's a 5 for me. And the reason being, like, Lucina has way more personality than Marth ever will. And the fact, though, that, like, she impersonated Marth.
Yeah. The fact that was her whole gimmick as a character. I kind of don't like that Smash Bros. Spoiled that, because I felt like that was a very cool plot twist. And that was like, you hadn't even played Awakening, and the first thing you saw of Awakening was Lucina.
Yeah.
Because she was in Smash Bros. And I was like, the moment I saw that trailer, I was so mad at Sakurai for putting her in the game before you'd finished Awakening.
Yeah.
I was just like, go play the entirety of Awakening before you watch this trailer. Like,
the thing was, though, I still married her in my playthrough of Awakening.
Everyone did.
Because, like...
she's great.
She has such a fascinating character, and, like... she comes from this horrible, tragic future, and she's so desperate to, like, fix everything. Going to some very drastic measures, mind you, that, depending on who you have S-supported her with, are very heart-wrenching.
Yeah, you get some serious scenes. Even, like, with your S-supports, if you don't have any sort of a relationship with Lucina, like... that one scene.
Yeah, the one scene that we will not spoil. Go play Awakening if you haven't.
That's it. That's the main thing. The main takeaway. Like, Lucina is an amazing character for a character that follows in the footsteps of Marth. It just kind of feels like they fleshed out Marth more as a character.
Yes, yes, this is exactly it. And the fact that, like, there's also, because, like, each character has, like, little quirks about them, and the fact that, like, she has no sense of humor.
Yeah, she doesn't understand jokes at all.
and, like, has no fashion sense. In, like, some of her supports with her mother are, like... it's some of the funniest dialogue in the game, and I'm just like, why are you... Why is this, like, battle-hardened soldier so unintentionally funny.
Mm-hmm. And at times, like, unintentionally adorable as well.
Yeah. Lucina was one of my favorite characters in Awakening.
So that's one of the major things about Lucina. She is way better as a character and just has a really, like, Awakening has a really compelling storyline. It, like, got me, like, way into Fire Emblem. Like, I was very, like, on the edge of liking Fire Emblem. And, like, Awakening got me super into it. That said, none of her personality actually really shows in Smash Bros. So
no, it doesn't.
I still give her a 3 out of 5.
That's fair. I give her a 5 because, like, given the choice between Marth and Lucina, I used to main Lucina. Once again, another character that I played a lot of, that then just new characters came out and just bumped her farther down the list. But she's easily, like, top 10 for me. I love Lucina as a character. I love her playstyle. I love, as much fun as Marth's tipper mechanic is, I love not having to worry about it and just rush down my opponent.
Get good or play Roy.
Sorry. We'll talk about Roy later.
Yeah, we will. So that's the main thing that I want to get. Extremely cool, extremely compelling character that originates from a very awesome video game. But for me, the thing is, I like the tipper mechanic better on Marth because it's something that makes him distinct.
That's
like
fair.
It actually gives something to him, and I don't know, I just like the tipper mechanic in general.
It's also
plus
the weird...
like she's not very needed in Smash because Roy kind of does the Echo Fighter of Marth already. So like if they would have given her own moveset, like totally would have understood that, but the fact that it's just Marth without the tipper, I didn't like that. And above all else, the main thing that I don't like is that it spoils the fact that Lucina exists. Because as they introduce her in Awakening, you're just supposed to think that it's Marth and that he time traveled.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so then, like, you instantly know this spoiler the second you see her. Like... And I don't like that, personally. And so those are things that sour my opinion. Still very good. Excellent wife for me when I was depressed and lonely and single and playing Awakening. S tier wife,
S rank, F rank, or S rank wife.
S rankable wife, C rankable Smash character, in my opinion.
That's fair. It's interesting too, the dynamic. I'll talk about it more with Roy, just like the weird situation that they're in.
Roy is in a very weird situation.
Speaking of characters in a weird situation, what are your thoughts on Young Link?
I love Groundhog Day. I mean Majora's Mask. No, this one, I give Young Link a 4 out of 5.
Interesting. I gave him a 3.
And that's fair, because we're getting in this Echo Fighter territory that all the Melee characters are in.
It's one of the things, like, I'm happy, because once again, much like Dr. Mario, it's everyone is here. I like him, and I like that he's the original Link playstyle that we kind of lost with Breath of the Wild changing everything.
Yeah.
But, like, he's still, I don't know. Because he's supposed to be Majora's Mask, I kind of wish they pulled a little more from that.
Yeah, I do understand. A lot of people are like, oh, he changes into all the different forms. And I'm like, again, the main thing about Young Link was that he represented more just like the N64 era of Link. Because for a time that was most of what we had of the Zelda series in Melee.
Yeah. It's this weird thing, because, like, I adore those games. But, like, this just feels like another Link, and it's just fulfilling the need of, like, everyone's here. So we brought him back. And so it's one of those ones that, like, I love him as a character, but also, like, he's not one that I actively go out of my way to play a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. I think sometimes, like, when the Breath of the Wild Link is a bit too much, but I still want to play something kind of adjacent to that, I actually really do like playing Young Link, personally.
Yeah.
Maybe Toon Link is a bit more of a go-to for me, but again, the main thing for me about Young Link and why I like him so much is just, like you said, how, like, each of them kind of represent different eras of the Zelda history. And, like, I just love the look of Young Link, the iconic voice clips that they have for him.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a fun alternate version of Link, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's all I really got to say about
him.
him.
Like I said, I don't hate him. He's just, he's a 3.
I'm just happy he's here.
He's good.
He's a good one. But now we got a really bad one.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Are you ready for it? This is probably going to be the most polarizing one.
Yeah.
Like, our just between us, not even, like, the comments. Like,
yeah.
There's going to be some beef.
Ganondorf.
What'd you give him?
I gave him a 2.
Tell us why.
So, here's the thing. He would be a 1. I have a strong dislike of Ganondorf. But he gets a 2 because, like, it's almost, like, it's an ironic 2, again, where, like, he's the villain, and, like, as a character, I love Ganondorf. Like, I love him as a villain, I love hating him. And that makes him, like, very iconic, but, like, I hate fighting Ganondorf. And I hate playing as Ganondorf. And he, in my honest opinion, is the single most brain-dead character in this entire roster.
Oh, man, that's a spicy hot take. I've
got
a different one, but...
because here's the thing, too. Like, I went and I did all of the challenges in Smash, and, like, I accomplished a lot of them by being a C-stick warrior with Ganondorf. Like, legitimately, like, turned my brain off and just powered through with this stupidly busted Ganondorf. And I was just like, dude, this character's dumb. And, like, the worst part was, like, so I'd play characters that, like, all my friends would be like, oh, this needs to get nerfed. Like, that's too good. That's boring. And then none of them would complain about Ganondorf and his ability to kill at, like, 40%. And I'm just like, yeah, okay.
His ability to kill at 40% is justified because he's slow as a snail.
And that's the thing. He's super slow, and I hate it. He is, like, the ultimate slow powerhouse. Just, I hate playing as him.
But that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't consider him cheap because he's bad.
Dude, I don't know. Like, in the hands of somebody more competent than me, I'm sure they're like, oh no, Ganondorf sucks. But, like, I'm not that person. I'm pretty casual at this game. And so just Ganondorf is, like, a night. Like, somebody picks Ganon, and I'm just like, oh, cool. I guess I just won't have fun. And again, it's I love him as a character. And, like, it's kind of, like, the pendulum's kind of swung into, like, meme territory of, like, I enjoy hating him. But, like, oh, every time he's in a match, I just feel awful. Like I stop having fun.
Mm-hmm. Ganondorf can be one of those, like, gatekeepers to the road to competitive Smash. Where, like, if you can't get past a good Ganondorf, then you're, like, kind of stuck in casual Smash.
Yeah.
I think there's one other character we'll get to specifically that is, like, the true gatekeeper of competitive Smash, but we'll get to that when we do. So I'm glad I let you get all that out of your system. Anything else you want to say?
Got it all out of my... Sorry, what was that?
Anything else?
You cut out.
Sorry, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Here's my pitch on why Ganondorf is a 5 out of 5.
Gosh dang it.
I freaking love this character. Like I said, I love heavies. I'm all about them. I don't like playing as him quite as much as I like Bowser, but in general, Ganondorf just has some of the stankiest, nastiest crud you can do to your opponents. He's got like just the dare, the legendary dare that is like the most satisfying spike in Smash.
Oh boy.
Alright. Hello there, Tradin Faves viewers. There's just a tiny bit of a... I don't know what it was. We stopped. We took a break. I think it was because
Ganondorf and the software refused.
Well, it was because it wasn't the software. It was you couldn't hear me. Like my voice was cutting out.
Yeah, it was
something like that, and it's not doing that now, is it?
No, you've been crystal clear this whole time.
Great, wonderful. Okay, so basically where we're gonna start from is me telling you that you're wrong, and here's why Ganondorf is a 5 out of 5. So first of all, we're talking Smash Ultimate, right? It's the Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. That's like the iconic one. And he's got his, you know, voice, but then he's also got the Doria! So he's even better.
The Doria.
The Doria, you know. They gave him swords! Like, that was a thing that people were, like, swearing at Sakurai for years to include in Ganon's design.
And now we reap the price of it.
Yeah.
Dead at 15. I think part of it for me too is I play so many lightweight characters.
Yeah.
That I detest fighting him.
That's the one, like, I cannot play Pikachu against a heavyweight character. Like, technically it's supposed to be an extremely easy matchup because you just combo them and don't give them room to do anything. But I'm not that good, so I just get smacked and killed in 2 hits.
That's what you're supposed to do. If you're good.
If you're good. Which I'm not. But yeah, they gave Ganon swords, which was at least something. Because for the longest time, he was just slow, hard-hitting Captain Falcon.
He was less cool Falcon.
Yeah. And then you see in the victory screens, he's got a sword, and it's like, why not use that?
And then in Brawl, when he would taunt, he'd like pull it out, and then he'd just put it back.
And then, like, they had the Twilight Princess design of Ganon. It's like, that's cool, kinda, but like...
He wears curlers to bed.
Yeah, exactly. The Ocarina of Time Ganon is just my favorite. Definitely, they should have done more with his moveset, or they should have made, like, a separate fighter who was, like, Pig Ganon, and give him, like, a moveset from, like, A Link to the Past, where he's got, like, the trident, and, like, all his magical abilities or something. I think that would have been cool.
That would be neat.
They could have given him, like, the... What is it? Like, the glowy ball, of magic that he throws, and then other players can hit it and knock it back, and you can do the tennis. And then, like, to make it still be a good move, there should be a point where, like, Ganon gets, like, the final hit that it can be reflected, so you don't just encourage players to...
They gave that move to Dedede.
Yeah, but they should have given it to Ganondorf. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, as far as the moveset goes, though, like, it doesn't represent Ganon well, aside from the swords on the smash attacks, but, like, it's just so much fun to play. The dare, the wizard's boot.
I will admit that those are fun.
It is the most satisfying Meteor Smash move in the game. Because it's easy to pull off, like, the hitbox is really unfairly, like, huge. So you can just jump over the ledge and stomp, and it always works. Or if it doesn't, then it's just crazy knockback, because it's Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Ganon is just one of those characters that's like, after a long day of work, I'm pissed off. I don't want to do anything or have my brain engage with video games in a meaningful way. I just go Ganon and I just bop everything in 2 hits.
You have, however, confirmed my complaint about how brain dead
right
Seasick Warrior Ganondorf can be.
and that's the main thing. Like, he's just a skill check for noobs. Like,
skill check.
Like, if you can't beat Ganon, then it's because you're up against a player who's vastly better than you, or like you're just not being smart about your approach, because he's so dang slow that like you can just hop all around him and do whatever. But I don't know. I personally quite enjoy Ganondorf being in Smash Bros. Personally.
Yeah. I mean, again, as a character, he's iconic, and like he is the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a little bit of me that like I have to respect him, and like I respect a good Ganon player who isn't just brain dead but actually does like cool things.
They know how their moves can set up and how they can do stuff. But yeah, at the very least, appreciating that he's a bad guy that you can fight against in this game. Like,
yeah,
there's something cool about that. Shall we move on, though?
Yes.
Because we've got a very exciting character up next. I
must say. Boy.
We have the legend himself, Mewtwo.
Oh, man. So... I'll talk about him first.
Yeah.
I gave Mewtwo a 5.
Yay! Me too.
Yay! I like Mewtwo a lot. Especially because like I have the fondest memory of like back in grade school. I had a friend who introduced me to Super Smash Brothers, like 64 and Melee.
Mm-hmm.
Like he got both of them like day one release. And I go over and like I used to spend the night at this kid's house all the time. And I have this very, very distinct memory because like the way that you unlocked Mewtwo in Melee was like you had to log many hours.
You had to log like 20 hours total.
And so what we did, because we were staying the night, I was staying the night at his place. And we went to Hyrule Temple, turned off all the items, and just put 2 fighters there. And then we just let the game run all night.
Yep. That's actually, I think like every player's total playtime also counts towards the thing. So like the fastest is if you have like 4 fighters in, then you only have to wait 5 hours.
We had 2.
With 2, that'd be about 10 hours. So like, yeah, overnight.
Yeah, like literally we'd been playing like during the day, unlocking characters and stuff. And then we let the game sit there for the night and we went to bed. And then we woke up, ISD'd, and then he unlocked Mewtwo. And it was like, we lost it, dude. Because Mewtwo at that time was like the Pokemon. Like, he was the busted Pokemon.
He was the guy on the cover of the movie.
Yeah! Well, and especially because, like, I also have this very fond memory of when I was little, because, like, I was a dumb kid and I abused legendary Pokemon when I played games.
Who didn't?
Right. Like, legitimately, my team in my copy of Yellow version growing up was my Pikachu, I had a Pidgeot, I had all 3 legendary birds, and I had Mewtwo.
Yeah.
And that was my team.
Your starter, your first catch, and all the legendaries.
Yes. Well, because like as a kid, it's funny. I looked at like having a legendary Pokemon on your team is like the ultimate honor of like, oh shoot, this is a legend. Like, I gotta be worthy to have this. This is super cool. And it was funny
like,
because
it is though.
Well, yeah, it was funny though because like, my Pikachu and my Mewtwo were like neck and neck on level. Like I never got them to 100, but like I played that game so much. I think they were like 96 and 97, like in their level. Like they were competing with each other to see who would get to like level 100 first. And so like Mewtwo has a special soft spot in my heart. Admittedly, I'm not great with Mewtwo.
Yeah, he's kind of weird.
But like they did him a big service when they brought him back in Smash 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
It made like a lot of his moves just better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I gave Mewtwo a 5. I like him.
I really like that. I seem to have a lot of memories as a kid of like me preferring the more edgy characters and you kind of preferring the more like hero-y characters. So I wasn't sure how you'd feel about Mewtwo, but that makes me happy that you like him.
Oh yeah.
Now, with that said, my obsession with edgy characters, when I saw that freaking movie, it wasn't theaters, it was drive-through, because drive-throughs were still a thing. We saw that movie drive-through, like opening night.
I forgot.
And that was like the most magical experience of my young child life.
Dude, that movie was so good.
It was kind of weird. As a kid, like, I would kind of feel guilty for liking bad guys sometimes, because I thought that was, like, a reflection of me being bad or something, and so, but it was always, like, with characters like Mewtwo, how they turn good at the end. I was like, okay, that justifies it. Like, now he's edgy, but he's a good guy. Like, I'm okay to like this one, but, like, I was just freaking obsessed with Mewtwo as a kid. He was like Mewtwo and Pikachu were I bought into all the merchandising crud. Like those two were like big favorites of mine. And then it's funny you mentioned that experience with like your friend, like that childhood friend of yours that you played Melee a bunch with, because I had an experience involving him as well. Because I remember there was a time where Mom was like, you have to take your younger brother with you so he's not alone. And you're like, okay, Mom. And I don't know how annoying that was for you. Like, we got along even as young kids.
Dude, it's so funny, like, hearing people talk about, like, their younger siblings and their older siblings, how they fight all the time. And I was like, dude, my siblings are so freaking cool. Like, I consider it an honor to hang out with them.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, I got roped along with, like, you and your friend group. Just so my parents, our parents didn't have to, like, watch me while they went somewhere. And they were just like, this is Smash Bros. Melee. It's like Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64, but 1,000 times cooler. And I'm like, how is that possible? And they're like, you can play as Mewtwo. And I was like, I'm sold. And so I remember immediately, like, the character select screen is way huger in this game compared to the 12 fighters, and that's if you unlocked them all. There is just this massive character select screen, and immediately, without even thinking about it, I was like, where's Mewtwo? It's like, oh, he's down here at the bottom. I was like, instantly slap that on, like... Because I think that was still at that point where, before I had my own Pokemon game, and I would just kind of like peer over your shoulder and watch you play Yellow. and be like, man, Mewtwo is so cool. I wish I could have a Mewtwo. And so then getting to play Melee, I was like, it's Mewtwo! That was really just like a wild experience for me, and I've just always loved him ever since.
Yeah. Well, even I also remember when we'd play Pokemon Puzzle League.
Yeah.
we knew the password to have it, like, player 1 was Ash and player 2 was Mewtwo.
Yeah.
And that was the coolest thing, like, as a kid.
That's so
like,
cool.
Mewtwo is so, like, mysterious and cool.
He was the final boss of that game. And then the game is just like, you can play as him. This is so awesome. I definitely agree with you about, like, the moveset in Melee. Like, I played as Mewtwo just because I loved him. But obviously he was, like, not very good for a lot of reasons, because very few of the characters in Melee were good, and the ones that were too good.
Yeah.
It's just horrifically unbalanced. But, like, I still played as Mewtwo because I loved him. But then, like, getting him back in Smash 4 and even, like, now with him in Ultimate, like, they touched up his moveset so much that he's awesome to play as.
I remember, like, the hype when, like, all right, Smash 4 is done, and they're like, hey, DLC, Mewtwo's coming back, and just, like, everyone lost it.
And we didn't even know that there was going to be a ton of DLC fighters. They were just like, here's Mewtwo. And I was like, oh! And they were like, it's only if you bought both versions, and I didn't have a Wii U yet, so I was like,
yeah,
I can't play as Mewtwo, no! And then they were like, we will release him. It's $5.99. And I was like, yeah! Oh, man. That is, like, in general, Mewtwo is honestly just one of the coolest Pokemon designs, in my opinion. There really is, I don't know, nowadays as adults we look at Pokemon and we mostly see it from the competitive perspective and just, you know, wanting to be courteous and not spam legendaries and nothing else. But, like, legitimately, Mewtwo is just a good character. And in all the different pieces of media that they've used him in, he's just awesome.
He really is.
So that's mostly what I gotta say about Mewtwo. I like him.
Yeah. No, solid 5.
Alright, shall we continue on with the next one? We
Continuing on.
Our boy.
Our boy. Oh, man. I'm actually really curious what you gave him.
Okay, so for Roy, I personally gave him a 4 out of 5. So not completely a 5 out of 5, but I'm still very, very glad we got Roy. I like him.
I actually ended up giving Roy a 5.
Nice.
For a couple of reasons.
I respect
one
it.
was like I used to main Roy back in the Melee days. So what's really funny, gosh, Roy was like a disaster of a character.
I know. It's
like,
so funny that you mained Roy for a time and I mained Falco for a time.
I know. Well, because like some of Roy's hitboxes are absolute trash, and then others are just like absolute bull crap.
Yep.
like legitimately, so like, because I used to main Link. I mained Link all through like 64 and then through Melee, because Zelda was like one of the only games that I knew.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I like Link. He's cool. He wears green. Like, yeah, I'm gonna play this character. And I remember I have like this very vivid memory of being at a friend's house, playing Smash, and they're like, dude, you only play Link. Like, play a different character.
Pick someone else.
There's this huge roster. Like, play someone else. And so I was like, okay. I was like, sure, Roy. And then I would spam his up special and kill it like stupidly low percent. And they're like, go back to playing Link.
You can do that like up B where you hit them with the first move and then turn around, and it can kill them at like 14%.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so funny, and so like I've always had just like a soft spot for Roy, and not to mention like what much like Marth, you know, paved the way for my addiction to Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I also have this other memory that just cracks me up because like I realized that Roy was in there as an advertisement and
yep.
never came to America.
They were
real shame.
Smash Bros. Melee was Roy's first video game appearance.
Yeah,
because they hadn't released his game.
Oh man, but like, and I remember. Do you remember we got it at like Toys R Us? There was that like upcoming games catalog.
Yes, I remember that.
And they had it's the 7th entry.
Yeah, Fire Emblem 7.
Yeah, it's
in the US. It's just called Fire Emblem because it was the first game.
Yeah, but it's like because that's the thing about Roy's game too, is that it's like Binding Blade and Blazing Blade.
Yeah, and something like that.
I always mix up which one is
which. They have like official names now because of things like Fire Emblem Heroes and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like, it was just titled Fire Emblem.
Yeah, and I remember looking at the artwork, and there's Eliwood, which hilariously is Roy's father, and I was like, oh, Roy looks kind of different, but like he looks cool. And I looked at Hector, and I was like, what the heck happened to Marth? He's jacked.
Because there's the blue-haired guy and the red-haired guy, and so it's like, oh, that's Roy and Marth, but like, what the heck? What are these character designs? Why does Marth have an axe?
Why does Marth have an axe? Why is he absolutely jacked?
Oh, man. I remember thinking that, too.
Man, I will say, I do kind of wish we got Hector in Smash.
Yeah.
Because, 1, then we'd have an axe fighter in Smash. 2, we'd have a Fire Emblem Lord that isn't a sword fighter.
That isn't an echo of Marth.
Yeah.
Or a clone,
I don't know.
Or whatever.
I'm getting off topic, but like, I liked Roy. He's really cool. And he was another one that like, when he came back, I was like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, Roy's a good character.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, definitely. So to explain my 4 out of 5, it's kind of the same deal. I just really like Roy as a character. I'd say he's vastly more interesting than Marth. Yeah, the thing is, we already talked about Marth. He's he's so lame. Like, I like his playstyle, but just as a character, he's the lamest Fire Emblem character of all time. And Roy has a little more personality. I know Fire Emblem fans hate Roy because out of all the main characters in the series, he has, like, the worst stats.
Yeah.
For me, I like that, strangely enough, because it makes his game feel more like a challenge run.
I mean, yeah.
Like, you're like, okay, so I have to use him in every chapter, and he's not great.
Yeah. Well, and then you get his weapon, like his important weapon, and then suddenly it's like, oh, hey, he doesn't suck. And then it breaks, and then you go, okay, we're back to this.
We're back to not being good. But
it's also
fun.
Fascinating how, like, his game came out, and then Eliwood's game came out, and it's a prequel to his game, and that's the first one we got in America.
Yeah. So it's like the game ends with, like, oh, here's this little boy. His name is Roy. And it's like, oh, that's the guy that's in Smash Bros.
That's the kid.
Why didn't they put his dad in? But yeah, I also kind of like how Roy has a Smash Bros persona that's kind of different than his in-game persona.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun how he's just a bit beefier and
Yeah,
more
'cause
grown
he's
up.
supposed to be like what, 15?
Yeah, he's a little kid in his game, which
He's a child.
I think also lends to the stats and like him not being good in his own game. But in Smash Bros, they beefed him up.
Well, and then depending on in Fire Emblem 7, depending on supports and who his mother is, there's the implication, depending on who you support with, that his mom could be a dragon.
Yep.
Which leads into like this whole like she's not from this world and therefore like does not have the best health in like our plane of existence, and then therefore that leads into Roy's.
Oh, so it's like he doesn't have he's not healthy in his own plane of existence, but then he goes to Smash and his dragon blood kicks in and he's powerful.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I like that.
Like I said, I played through 7 like once.
Yeah.
And like I don't even think I finished all of the stories because
there's multiple stories and stuff, but
yeah, and then Roy's is only available in Japan, and so right. I'm missing some details, but like I don't know, I like Roy.
Mm-hmm. I hope his game actually gets released, like a remake or something.
Ooh,
in the US,
I would like that.
Because like if they just remake the game, give him not awful stats,
yeah,
and just kind of like add all the quality of life stuff that we have now with like 3 houses, I'm pretty sure, or at the very least like the Shadows of Valentia, because that one was a remake too. I haven't played it, but I hear that one's good. So as long as it's that good, then it's a great remake.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Next
we've got our Echo. So this is going to be jumping ahead a bit to Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
For some reason, Roy had a copied moveset from Marth with slight tweaks. Then we got Lucina, who had a copied moveset from Marth with slight tweaks. Now we've got a copy of Roy.
It's so...
We got CHROM.
CHROM. Oh my goodness. So I have some mixed feelings about CHROM.
I wouldn't say mine are mixed. I kind of just have some feelings about him. But
yeah,
let's hear you go first on this one as well.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So I gave CHROM a 3.
A 3. Okay, so middle of the road.
Yeah. He's good. And like, because here's the thing. The big thing for me is I have a friend who adores CHROM.
Yeah.
And so like, this was the biggest W for her.
Right.
Like, she got CHROM and she was just the happiest person ever. And so I was thrilled for her. I was like, good. You got what you wanted. Like, I'm happy. I really love CHROM in his own game.
Mm-hmm.
He is a lord with some of the most personality.
Yeah, Awakening was just such a good game.
Awakening's such a good game. And like, there is a thing about CHROM about him eating an unpeeled orange.
Yeah,
just biting right into. I'm just like, what an idiot! I love him.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how they make him like just a little bit more oafish.
Yeah,
than the normal like Lord characters in Fire Emblem.
Well, and it's funny because like he has he's like the middle sibling, and so he's like, I'm not gonna rule, so like I'm gonna go be an adventurer. I'm gonna go get into fights. And... I have my shepherds with me. Is like this squadron of do-gooders.
I'm gonna wear this sleeveless shirt so you can see my cool tattoo.
Yeah, like, CHROM's a doofus, and I love him. But I don't enjoy his playstyle in Smash. Just, like, he feels like Roy, but worse.
Are you telling me you don't like going to the ledge and spamming Aether a bunch?
Yeah, well, and it's also, like, I adore Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
Like, he is such a talented voice actor. I don't know what it is they did, but, like, with his final Smash, to make it, like, sync up with, like, the US, or, like, the Japanese, how the dialogue is, there's, like, this awkward pause in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And just every time I hear it, I just go, ugh. And so, like, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm like, but, like, I love CHROM as a character.
So it's like, if I got this right, it's a character you like, but it's the execution of the character that's kind of the why he's not like a 4 or a 5 out of 5.
Yes. I love CHROM as a character. He's your best friend when you play Awakening. Yeah. Like, he's an so absolute great.
Bro.
Dude, he is though. Like, I freaking love CHROM. I just don't like him in Smash Bros. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about his playstyle. It's just weird. He has, like, I think it's the fact that he has, like, no horizontal movement. Like, it is all vertical, and, like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. So I guess for me, talking about CHROM, I have to agree with a lot of your points about, like, the character. He's a fun character. I wouldn't say he's, like, one of my most favorite characters from Awakening, just because there's a ton of good characters in Awakening.
There are a ton of phenomenal characters in that game.
But in general, Awakening is an awesome game. And, you know, like you said, Matt Mercer, great voice actor. There's a lot of fun stuff tied to this character, and in spite of all of that, I give him a 1 out of 5.
Oh!
He is, okay, with no disrespect, I'm gonna have to plaster this thing with disclaimers. With no disrespect whatsoever to people who like CHROM, I completely understand the appeal of the character. For me, it comes purely down to a Smash Bros. Thing. This is the 4th character that we have with slight variations on the Marth moveset. And then, like, he's got Ike's up B, and it's like, you could have just made him an echo of Ike to begin with.
Yeah. And then you would have had the horizontal movement.
But even then, like, I don't know, he's just so unnecessary. Everyone has been going on about, like, the diversity in Fire Emblem characters and how, like, you know, we always get the sword fighters. And then he just shows up and he's like, hey, I'm Marth 4. It just bothers me so much. And again, not to say that, like, CHROM is this horrible, unlikable character with no redeeming qualities. I completely love CHROM as a character. I just do not think that he should be in Smash Bros. Personally.
Or at least without, fine.
Yeah, with some, like, serious overhaul to the moveset. And it was like, if we didn't have Roy or Lucina, then I'd just be like, okay, this is our current Marth Echo Fighter. But, like, it's the fact that there's 4 of them. I just can't with that.
What I really wish that they incorporated is the fact that, like, in Roy's game, he has a projectile weapon. Like,
yeah, he can, like, shoot fire out of his sword.
Yeah. And so I was really hoping that, like, they would do that with Roy's moveset when they brought him back in Smash 4. And then they just left him the same, and I was like, oh, okay.
Sakurai doesn't like changing the characters. So.
No, I know. And so I was hoping that they would do that with Roy, and then, like, as a result, we could do fun things with CHROM.
Right. But that's kind of just my whole thing about it. He's still welcome amongst the Smash Bros. Cast because I like him as a character. It's just a matter of the fact that, like, yes, I love Fire Emblem Awakening, and Lucina and Robin, especially Robin, represent that game very well, and CHROM brings so little to the table. With his moveset.
I will say, for me, like, Echoes, everyone's always like, oh, an Echo Fighter, that's a waste of a slot. And I'm like, they don't feel like a waste to me because they're very easy to put together.
Right.
And so it just kind of feels
CHROM
like
didn't steal anyone's place.
Yeah.
Like, this was clearly just easy development and Sakurai being ultra chummy with the Fire Emblem devs.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I recognize that. I just think that, like, CHROM is, like, one character addition too far.
Maybe. And again, it's because going back to what I said about Dr. Mario, like, Dr. Mario to me felt like a waste of a slot.
Right.
Because he wasn't an Echo Fighter. Like, he is a full separate character. But he's just Mario again.
Well, the thing about him not being an Echo Fighter is just because they only gave that designation to the newcomers, but he was clearly a copy fighter of Mario, so, like,
yeah,
he still technically is an Echo Fighter, just not in name.
Yeah, and so for me, like, you know, like I said, I have a friend who just adores CHROM. They were very much robbed in Smash 4 when
right. That
he was.
That friend of yours is almost why I didn't want to admit to giving CHROM a 1 out of 5, because, like,
yeah, it's one of those.
It's harsh. For me, it really boils down to the execution of the character. Like, so many people are like, oh, blue-haired swordsmen in Smash, they're everywhere. Too many Fire Emblems. For me, it's all about if they got an interesting moveset. And I don't think that CHROM does. If they had given him a better moveset, you would not hear me complain. Like,
oh no,
I welcome
so much higher.
I welcome every new Fire Emblem character to Smash. I really could not care less how many of them there are, as long as they have interesting movesets. But we have 4 of them with similar movesets.
Yeah,
and that's what bugs me about this. But that new remix they added of id was pretty cool.
Oh, dude. I need to go back and replay. I need to play more Fire Emblem because I was like, oh, I need to replay Awakening, and I was like, no, I need to finish the Fire Emblem games I started and then play all the new ones that I haven't played.
At least 3 houses, man. It's so good.
I know. It's eventually.
We are massively off topic though, but I don't know.
We are.
Do you have any other points to make about CHROM?
Other points about CHROM. I don't know. Like, it just boils down to, like, I love the character. He's a doofus. He's a bro.
Yeah.
I love him. I just wish his moveset was better.
Right. I love CHROM, but he deserves so much more. He
deserves so much better.
I guess I'll get my chance another day. And it's like, well, you kind of won't, but...
Oh, you did, but whatever.
Alrighty. And just, yeah, I said it once, I'll say it again. Me giving him a 1 out of 5 is not trying to trash anyone who likes this character. It is just about my feelings about his inclusion in Smash Bros. And it's not even to say that he shouldn't be in Smash Bros. It's he should be better in Smash Bros. Like, they should have done something different with him. But that's...
I can get behind that.
That's all I got to say there. We've got something radically different than CHROM for our next fighter. Intensely different.
Oh, man.
we've got history of Nintendo himself, Mr. Game & Watch.
Oh boy. Okay.
I've been letting you go first on a couple of these. Do you mind if I start?
Go for it, dude.
All right. So with Mr. Game & Watch, I gave him a 4 out of 5.
Woo!
It's pretty high praise, right? But he is so distinct from everyone else in this game in a way that is so interesting and just so unparalleled. Like nothing like Game & Watch was in Melee, and ever since, nothing like Game & Watch has been in the game. He's a freaking 2D fighter with, like, next to no frames of animation. And it creates such a weird, old-school charm.
If Dr. Mario was easy to program, like, Game & Watch was like, Sakurai did it in his sleep.
Oh, no doubt. Like, Game & Watch wasn't even finished in Melee. Like, all of his moves have, like, messed up hitboxes, and he doesn't even have... He has a smaller shield than the rest of the fighters for no good reason. Like, his air dodges don't work. Like... He was completely busted in Melee, and you know what? We loved him anyway.
Yeah.
Like, the funniest thing to me about Game & Watch is just how he's, like, he's peak gambler character, where he is. You're constantly swinging for the 9 to the point that, like, it's not even working and you're getting your butt kicked. But then you just bust out the 9 and instantly take a stock. It's so stupid, and I love it.
Yeah.
I think also one of the things I love the most about Mr. Game & Watch is just the fact that it actually is a 3D model of the character, but they just squish it down. Because when you see Mr. Game & Watch doing anything properly 3D, it's so like, what? It's usually only through glitches, but it looks amazing. Alright, that's pretty much all I have to say about Game & Watch. Just neat piece of history.
More than I had to say, because I gave him a 2.
Oh no.
And it's... I don't know, it's a high 2, but also, like...
It's a high 2. It's a 2.9.
Yeah, but, like, at the same time, like... There's just so many other characters I like more than him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I have, like, more history with, and, like... Because, like, before Smash, I didn't know who he was. I didn't care who he was. And... The thing too about Mr. Game & Watch is he was always like one of the last characters that you'd unlock, and he just felt like a weird low note to go out on, because it's like, I mean, he is an important part of history, but like, where's his character? Like, he's just the everyman. I can do that with a me.
But he's a 2-dimensional everyman.
No, it's true. And like, hearing you praise him, like, definitely made me think, like, oh yeah, no, there are things that, like, I very much appreciate about him. He's just kind of, like, I will say one of my favorite things is what they did with his animations in Ultimate.
Yeah.
Where, like, before he was just the same static character, and then in Ultimate, like, his appearance would change, and, like, I really like that, how it, like, referenced so much more of his history.
Yeah, just by making him look like the guys in the games did.
Yeah. And I will say, like, it is nice to see like a what is it, the LCD, like the weird, that era of gaming. Because, like, you know what it reminds me of is, do you remember those, like, Sonic McDonald's toys?
Yes!
That were, like, those, like, Game & Watch-esque, like, games?
Shadow,
like,
basketball.
Yeah. Well, dude, like, we played the crap out of those games. Like,
we spent a lot of time playing those.
They're weirdly addicting. But I guess also it kind of comes with like my perspective on like games and how like I view them. Where like I want to be able to take something away from it, and Mr. Game and Watch very much is like you just play to be like, hey, look how far I made it. And so like,
yeah,
there's that little bit.
You can take about as much away from it as, like, animators can take away from, like, Steamboat Willie or something. Like,
yeah.
Very cool history, but it's like, yeah, we're leagues ahead of that now.
Yeah. But that said, like, I still do like Mr. Game & Watch. He's a cheeky little... He's like, the weirdest character out of this roster, I feel. I feel like of everyone here, like, I mean, he is the oldest character and
second oldest.
Is he? Who am I?
Smash 4 added somebody even older.
Oh, interesting.
We'll get to that.
Okay, but like, I don't know, just something about him, like,
he's just not a character that clicks with you.
Yeah, well, because he doesn't feel like a character.
Yeah, that's fair. And I definitely agree that, like, I hand out my 4 out of 5s way too generously.
Looking back at our last guy.
I had very specific feelings about that.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things that, like, I don't hate him. I ranked him the same as Ganondorf.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's there, because any one of these characters, like, if you removed them, the roster would feel empty.
Yeah, it
like,
would feel not right.
Not even like, oh, replace them with someone else, but just like them not being there would just feel weird.
Yeah, definitely.
And he rounds out the game. He's weird.
He's a weird guy. Maybe I can also say this. I just now thought about this, but I do also have a bit of an appreciation for, like, obscure old media.
Oh, yeah.
Just like old crud that, like, nobody's heard of. There is something kind of fun about uncovering old relics long forgotten and being like, hey, you remember this thing? And so Game & Watch just kind of represents that better than anyone else, I think.
Well, and I think I love when Smash Bros does this with a character where, like, they're old and forgotten, and then they get into Smash Bros, and then, like, eyes are kind of on them, and like, oh, hey, like, people are talking about this character. Maybe we should do something with them.
Mm-hmm. And Game & Watch did get that treatment. They made, like, the Game & Watch collections and and a few of those, like, anniversary releases, like the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch and stuff like that.
That might be a little bit why he's so low for me, is because it was still like, oh, this is like a limited anniversary collector's item. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Not a game. Okay. But, like, I still like him.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else it could be for me? It was the fact that back when Club Nintendo was a thing, and they were giving people entire free games. That was one. I got the Game & Watch collection on DS.
Right. I remember you playing that, but I never actually played it.
I mean, it's just a bunch of Game & Watch games. Like, there's nothing deep about them. If you've seen a video of somebody playing one for 2 seconds, you get the gist of it.
Yeah.
But it was just cool that, like, I had a bunch of them on one cart, and it was free.
That's always nice.
But yeah.
So what you're saying is Game & Watch bought your vote by giving you a free game.
Nintendo bought my vote for Game & Watch. Club Nintendo was a powerhouse. I can tell why Nintendo stopped doing that, because Club Nintendo was just like, they were handing out free crap, and so nobody would buy anything from Nintendo anymore.
Fair.
Oh man.
But they still gave it to you, and now you're hooked.
I am. I'm very hooked.
They inadvertently created a monster in me by giving you Super Metroid.
It's true. It's absolutely true. I don't know. I think you would have come around to the Metroid series.
I mean, eventually.
Anyway, even if I didn't, but I got to speed up that process.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not even talking about Game & Watch anymore. That's
no,
how cool
we're not.
He is. Oh boy. Alright, so that covers all the Melee ones.
That is all the Melee fighters.
Just hard cut right there.
Yeah.
The video ends right there. Himi Jimmy.
Shimmy Jimmy.
Shimmy Jimmy. I'm so glad they brought back Shimmy Jimmy for Smash Ultimate. Oh, by the way, I'm recording now.
I was gonna say, is that your opening joke?
It's not, but oh my gosh, this freaking kitty.
Look, man, everyone's here.
Including the cat.
Including the cat.
Get away from the monitor. I was like, we were saying all this funny stuff off camera. I didn't think there was going to be any bloopers, but lo and behold.
You can't... We're so professional. There's no bloopers.
The cat dimension.
I banish you to the cat dimension.
No! No! I was thinking of the... What was the terminal montage? The bird dimension.
Bird up.
Bird up.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry if I'm forcing the humor. I just want there to be some outtakes because there weren't any for Dread.
Yeah. No, we gotta...
Okay.
We gotta actually suck at our jobs in order to be funny. We're too professional.
We're like, I don't know, GameStop. Sucking at our job is part of our business model.
Oh, shoot.
Well, the recording software isn't even started yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it had started. I'll say it again once you
now
get it
it's
going.
Started. Boo, I'm being silly.
Yeah.
That was not a very good blooper.
Well, especially because I didn't have my comment earlier of say something silly so that we can put it in the blooper reel.
Yeah. But, like... that was like signing up for someone's Patreon and there's just nothing there. Just like, oh, I paid $5 for this. I'm going to pay $5 a month for this. That's depressing. You can just take that first $5 and cancel my subscription.
It costs another $5 to unsubscribe.
That's how you get them.
Got him.
They're like, well, if I'm gonna pay $5 anyway, content will eventually be here.
Right?
Patreon. I have never wanted to have a Patreon in my life. Like, the idea scares me so much that, like, people who paid for, like, my work ethic get, like, a say in the things that I create. I'm just like, I don't want that.
Early access? Heck no.
Early access. There's nothing there. You're too early.
Yep, you get access to the nothing before everyone else.
So that way, when everyone is playing the game I finally release after 6 years of development, you can be like, I was there before it was anything.
I remember the good old days when there was nothing here.
And we liked it that way.
Dadgum, Junior, we liked it.
Alright, so now we have this whole diatribe on Patreon.
Yeah, sorry,
That's
I'm just
good.
trying to avoid more talking about Ganondorf.
You suck.
Not as much as him.